the construction stage of the new complex. The Reserve Bank has defied economic forecasts, hiking interest rates by 0.25%. It's the 11th rise over the past year and takes the cash rate to 3.85%. Mortgage holders will need to find more than $1,500 extra a month as a result of the combined increases. Treasurer Jim Chalmers admits it's going to be tough for many households.
This is a really difficult decision for a lot of Australians who are already under the pump. This is a reminder that inflation remains the primary challenge in our economy.
The opposition is urging the federal government to restore the Work for the Dole program. About 700,000 people are on job seeker. Many are long-term unemployed. Welfare and business groups believe the benefit is too low and needs to increase to at least $75 a day. Liberal leader Peter Dutton says the government has spent the past year dismantling programs that did work.
I think there is a great argument for bringing back Work for the Dole and other programs that say to people, you're unemployed, you're able to work, there's work out there, so why aren't you in a job?
Convenience stores may soon be banned from selling e-cigarettes as part of a push to stamp out recreational vaping. It's hoped it will eliminate the growing black market for nicotine vapes, which are illegal without a doctor's prescription. More than $200 million will be allocated in next Tuesday's federal budget to help impose tougher controls. Federal Health Minister Mark Butler has told the National Press Club the issue can no longer be ignored.
This is a product deliberately targeted at our kids, being sold alongside lollies and chocolate bars. Vaping has now become the #1 behavioural issue in high schools, and it's becoming widespread in primary schools as well.
Hollywood is facing potential turmoil. Last-ditch talks to avert a strike by film and television writers have ended without a deal. It raises the prospect of writers walking off the job. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Collect the newest 2023 AFL footy cards, available at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade.
Tasmania will be the AFL's 19th side. Eddie Summerfield has the details.
The 18 club presidents met for just 15 minutes, unanimously agreeing Tasmania will enter the competition, with the AFL Commission now to formalise the club, an announcement expected tomorrow. It's been a long journey for the Apple Isle, with unsuccessful bids in the 90s and again earlier this century. A few questions remain unsolved after funding for a new stadium was finalised on Saturday. The year of entry expected to be one of 2027 or 28. Key positions of president and the first coach will be debated, as will the list build. The choice of nickname isn't finalised, but the Tasmanian Devils is favourite.
And West Coast has joined Collingwood in vocalising the club's support for an Indigenous voice to Parliament. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Afternoon, at Glenelg, look out for flooding Brighton Road near Diagram Road. It's as you're heading towards Jetty Road. Busy at the moment, Main North Road at Grand Junction Road, also Glenburn Road busy at Paynham Road. Got roadworks at Tennyson, a lane closed there, Military Road near Trimmer Parade, and we're slow going around Highgate 2 for works, Fullerton Road near Crossroad. Cameras, Gage Street, Firle and McGill Road and McGill. Skoda's 777 is their complimentary 7-year servicing and 7-year roadside assist with their included 7-year warranty. Curious? Visit your Skoda dealer today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers easing tomorrow, a top of 18 after getting down to 13 overnight. Thursday, a shower or two, 18 again. And showers developing on Friday, up to 20 degrees. Currently, it's 18. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Tonight, the biggest smoking reform in a decade. Disposable vapes used by thousands of Australians set to be banned. Interest rates hiked again, the painful rise the experts didn't predict. Did roadworks crossing confusion cost a woman her life in the heart of the city? Plus, meet the new female boss of Qantas. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 4. Good afternoon on a Tuesday. Great to have your company. Lots of sport to get stuck into as we look forward to what might be an historic day tomorrow. Stephen Rowe and Tim Ginnivan, good afternoon.
Thank you, Sammy. After another drizzly day, the odd shower, winter's just trying to break through. The days are getting shorter and colder. We're already up to round 8. Now, they say the month of May can make or break your season. And our two club seasons are this. Port have Essendon North Melbourne Tigers. 3 of the 4 more than winnable. Crows, Geelong, St Kilda, Bulldogs, Lions. All probably top 5 teams. Timmy, we know a lot about them. By June 1.
I agree with you, Stephen, and thank you very much for allowing me to come in.
What was that all about?
No, it's nice to be here.
Oh.
It's just a passing comment. It's great to be here.
You're the captain, mate. I should be saying to you, I'm lucky to be here. You actually, while I was doing the opener, you ran out. What was that for?
Oh, choking to death.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, I shouldn't have eaten some cashews just before coming on air. One
Didn't
got
your
caught.
Mum ever tell you, you don't run eating nuts?
Yeah, well, that's right. Oh, she didn't say that, actually.
No, that's not a mother's wives' tale. If you're playing footy or you're running or you're doing anything, that's why my mum never packed nuts in my lunchbox.
Lunchbox, yeah.
Because at recess, what do you do? At lunch, what do you do?
Correct.
So if there's any kiddies out there, don't eat nuts and run like Uncle Timmy, you clown.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
You're never too old to learn lessons.
No, you're not.
Well
so
done.
is that why you ran out?
Yes.
And Jim has just ran you into water.
Because I was...
Are you with us?
I'm back.
Do you want me to pat you on the back?
No, all good.
Right.
I agree with your point, though.
Take 2.
I think the next month for both teams is
massive.
It can be very defining. The thing about Adelaide, and I know you're saying, oh, wow, they're all teams that are probably going to be right up there.
St Kilda here.
Yep.
Bulldogs at Ballarat.
Yep.
Lions.
Which they've won. And Lions. See, for me, the Lions one will be home as well, won't it? I reckon they should be absolutely excited about that month because they're playing good enough football. Yeah. We know that now after playing Collingwood. That's a true test and really should have won the game. Yep. You're playing great football. You want to take it up now to the best. And they did that against Collingwood. Fell short by a point. 20 seconds. Other than that, they won the game. You take that to Geelong. You take it when you're playing Saints here. They'll beat Saints here. You've got the Bullies over there in Ballarat. You can beat them. You've got the Lions coming home here. I'd be excited about all those games and saying we're capable.
As you would be. You're 5-2. You beat Esther this week 6-2. You'll smoke North 7-2. Melbourne 50-50. You beat them. It's here Friday night 8-2. Tigers are useless. They've lost 5 straight 9-2. You'll be re-signing Ken's contract June 1.
Yeah, look, I know where you want to lead that conversation, but
Jimmy.
We'll leave poor old Ken alone at the moment. But yeah, look, it's easy on paper. We all know that, and the opposite could happen. You know, the Crows could end up winning 4 of the 5, and Port could,
But a great month.
You just don't know. It's a great month of footy coming up.
Cannot wait.
But both teams are in a reasonable position.
That's it. Live on 5AA, which we love. AFL club presidents have given Tasmania team the green light. The federal government have kicked in $240 million. The AFL Commission meets tonight to give it, the big golden seal of approval, which means tomorrow... It's a big day. This is a significant day. Tassie will be the 19th AFL team in, possibly in 2027, more likely 2028. I think that's great. We'll chat to Sheeds about it. Do you know what? It feels right. I think it's the right thing to do, and I'm wrapped for them.
It gives them time as well. That's the thing. First, I was thinking, early days, I was saying 25, 26. I was thinking, it's not a lot of time to prepare. And we saw probably they've got to learn from the mistakes at both the Gold Coast and GWS and maybe learn from those and see how we can do that better.
They've got a couple of good siders, haven't they?
You've got one thing that's in your favour straight away. It's a football state.
Of course you have.
So that's a real big advantage for me.
So they've got to get the juniors.
And that's our opportunity, I think, is the development of who's on the ground now. And you get that opportunity. I think you were saying off air, they'll be in first year high today. So by the time they're ready,
they're in year 8 now.
Draft, they'll be ready.
Would you do something like this to give the whole Apple Isle the incentive and the kids to get excited? And we'll speak to Sheeds because he's probably best to speak to it about because he was up there with GWS.
Yeah.
For the next 10 years, you can't pick a kid from Tasmania. They all go to the new team. A moratorium.
Something like that, something exclusive like that, at this moment in time would be, I think, better than...
So they're not in the draft. You don't lose draft picks. You just get them.
And the investment... It's not just about the investment in talent.
No.
It's the investment of those potential draftees loving their state, wanting to play for that team.
Yeah. The debate is all about the roof too. Here's our Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. When I say a roof on that new stadium.
Will it have a roof?
Yeah, well, let's see.
Adelaide and Optus and the new Parramatta Stadium in Sydney and Allianz in Sydney, Townsville. I've been to a few new stadiums. None of them have roofs. I would like for there to be consideration of as many activities as possible using the stadium.
Well,
which
means it's federal funding, but it's going to be a state-owned, state-ran stadium like ours is here.
Yep.
So that was Albo. Here's the incoming CEO, Andrew Dillon.
I think it's really important that we have an elite stadium down in Hobart, yes, and it should have a roof. We're having really good discussions with the Tassie government and we'll have a stadium with a roof.
Well, I wish he was our CEO because Andrew Demetrio, when we did ours, said this.
There won't be a roof.
He said that to me straight to my face in a meeting. There will not be a roof. Well, there's not a roof. I wish we had a roof. If you were to start afresh in any state, even the MCG here or Optus, whatever, you would have a roof. Would you or would you not?
I'm glad we don't.
Because you've got to get concerts, you've got to have...
I know.
Nah,
I'm glad we don't
I still want a roof.
Yeah. Well, then you have to take away what is, I think, the most unique thing about Adelaide Oval, and that is our old scoreboard, our Moreton Bay fig trees, our hill that nobody else has. I don't want to be a cement playground.
It won't be a
That's
cement...
Optus.
Nah,
Optus is a cement playground over there. That's all it is.
Andrew Demetrio, I still want a roof. Albo, I still want to...
Marvel has aged very quickly because of it. They're not structures like ours.
Best place to watch footy. The most comfortable, you're never cold, it's air conditioned, there's no wind, you've got a roof, there's no rain.
Feels like you're
None of
in
the
a
elements
plane
affect
hangar. That's what it feels like. You're in a plane hangar.
82230000. Who's with me?
I'm Adelaide Oval every day of the week.
Get rid of the fig trees, they're good for nothing. What do you name the Tassie team? 82230000. We've got a $50 Powers voucher. Now, the Tassie Devils is locked up. You were telling me this with Warner Brothers with copyright.
Well, they've got some copyright issues there because of the Tassie Devil that they used to have in Bugs Bunny, which is amazing. They will challenge you. Look, I know that seems like the obvious name, but I'm not sure that they'll go with it. In recent times, the two new ones, Suns, Giants, they're not traditional names. No. And I don't think they'll go for the obvious. We're Power. Now, that was chosen by the club itself. And Phil Hoffman, who, great sponsor here, of course, he was involved in that. He went with Brian Cunningham overseas, and they came back with those colours and that name.
Okay. NBL basketball team of the Jack Jumpers after a local ant.
Yeah.
You got Van Diemen's Land. Somehow could you weave that in there? So what do you name the Tassie team? We'd love your interaction. We're just going to open up the lines till 4:30. Got that $50 Powers voucher. Now, we're speaking to Josh Carr after 4:30. Yep. We'd love to know where the improvements come from. Now, the midfield is what he's in charge of. Here's Connor Rosey, thanks to Channel 7.
Our game plan stacks up against the best teams, we know that, so to be able to come out and perform the way we did, was something we were really proud of. We brought that pressure that we probably didn't have for the two games that we've lost this year, and I think if we can continue to play like that with our pressure, we know our offence is good enough. We've got some really young, youthful, exciting players with our offence, but our defence is where our big gains have come from.
I agree. You say just bring the heat.
Yeah. And I think they even admitted they needed to quickly revert back to some of their defensive actions after the first two games. They said, we were trying to take it on too much and we're bleeding at the back.
Just rein it in a tad. But look forward to speaking to Joshy Carr at 4:30. Before we go to the break, Tassie name, have you say, the AFL has contract to host the grand final at the MCG until 2059. It was extended for 2 years because they lost those 2 COVID years. So it's 2059. That's 36 years with my math. Now, there's a bit of a clause or a caveat in there that if the capacity drops under 70,000, the AFL has the right to move it. Well, there's a little bit of an opening here, Timmy G. You brought this to my attention when I got in. They're doing a feasibility to revamp the Shane Warne stand, which seats about 50,000, which means the capacity will drop to under 70,000.
Correct.
So that means for 2 years, now the Com Games is 2026, at the end of that they can bring the bulldozers in, which means the 2028 and 2029 grand final could be moved. Now, could we?
Could we?
Timmy?
Could we?
Could we? Now, I've looked at this. Perth's had one, so you're out.
Yep.
Queensland's had one, the Gabba, you're out.
Correct.
Tassie's is only 20,000, you're out.
Not big enough.
There's only 2 options.
Us and Sydney.
Us and Sydney, and I reckon one each. Premier Peter Malinauskas, who's good at getting people of high note in headlocks.
Yep.
And giving them an old crusty.
Yeah.
Get the boys in a crusty. Get on it now.
I don't think you even have to ask that question.
He's already there.
I reckon he's already there.
He read the same tweet as us. Mr. Peter Malinauskas is in Melbourne now with the MCC and the AFL negotiating the 2028 or 2029 grand final at Adelaide Oval. You bloody little...
If there's half a chance, he'll be on there.
He's like a rat up a drain pipe.
And I think post-gather round, they'd have to say, you're a big contender. I know you're saying one each, but Sydney have to really want it and do it properly, because under the previous
but he's
premier,
out. They voted him out.
He's out
What's
now.
his name? Perrottet?
Perrottet.
The bloke that likes dress-ups?
But that attitude would not cut it.
Nah.
Yeah, because they'd be thinking, well, you won't put the effort in, and you've got to make it work. It's the perfect place to promote AFL.
Okay.
Having the grand final in Sydney, that's big.
Could we?
But I think Adelaide's going to get one.
Well, that's a great one. Tassie name. Have your say. Get to it.
We'll take all your calls next. Have you got
well, I haven't, but I've got a Foodland text that just caught my eye. Well, I had one, but we canned it because it was below the belly button.
Yeah.
You two half-wits wearing headphones. Now, there's a marketing line. What is that all about?
I'm not sure. I think that might be...
You two half-wits wearing headphones. So I guess that's Sam and Timmy.
Oh, hang on.
Or is it me and Sam? Or is it Timmy and I?
Well, I know there's going to be a lot of names come through.
Well, what's yours?
Do you know there's a place called Penguin in Tasmania?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, could they be the Penguins? Cute and cuddly, boys. Cute and cuddly.
Oh, my goodness.
No?
That's a Madagascar reference.
It is a Madagascar.
Oh, see, I'm all over it. All right, it is 17 after 4. Maybe you can better what Tim's provided so far. 8223 0000.
I'd like to leave the door open.
That is awful.
We've got a $50 Powers voucher for the best contribution. We'd love your Tassie team names. Scotty Camporelli is going to join us on the show in Coach's Corner. We've got Kevin Sheedy to join us. Port's Josh Carr. Alistair Nicholson, a proud advocate for a Tassie team. Tanya Obbs from the Thunderbirds.
He's from Penguin.
And we've got more Port Locker Room tickets to give away in the show. It's 18 after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. South Australia's latest free print and digital publication, 50 Plus SA, is out now. Packed with the best of SA, featuring Adelaide's festival events, local food and wine, travel, film, art, finance, health, and so much more, including content from your favourite 5AA presenters. Grab your free copy at over 400 distribution points across SA, including Adelaide's finest supermarkets, or jump online today and read the mag at 50plussa.com.au. Proudly supported by 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
If you're feeling as though you have a cold coming on, it might be worth $500. That's what you'll be paid for your time in an Adelaide clinical trial with Fusion to help find relief from the common cold. If your symptoms have appeared within the past 36 hours, you'll qualify and receive a nasal spray to use for 5 days. How easy is that? Interested? Search Fusion Trials Common Cold Treatment or visit fusiontrials.com.au to apply.
Let New Zealand take your breath away on an exclusive 17-day getaway with Holiday Wonders Mitcham. Fly direct from Adelaide with Air New Zealand and experience the best of what the North and South Islands have to offer, with meals, accommodation and so much more included, and more highlights than any comparable New Zealand trips. Right now, it's our best value ever. Save up to $980 per couple. Call now or visit holidaywonders.com.au. Holiday Wonders, Belair Road, Mitcham.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Wearable tech is a fantastic way to enhance your health and fitness routine and hold yourself accountable. The Fitbit Versa 3 is one of the most reliable smartwatches in the game. It's packed with health and fitness features like 24/7 heart rate tracking, sleep management tools, and built-in GPS. Plus, you can receive smartphone notifications and control Spotify when your phone is nearby, and it's water resistant up to 50 metres. It's super easy to use, making the perfect Mother's Day gift for health-conscious or tech-savvy mums. And just in time for Mother's Day, Harvey Norman have a great offer on the Fitbit Versa 3. Save $100 off the recommended retail price and get it for an incredible $198 in black, midnight or pink. This fantastic offer ends May the 17th.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
It is 4:20. We're looking for Tassie names for the new team. Tomorrow it will be announced officially. Now, Australia's greatest sporting rivalry is back with the 2023 Ampol State of Origin Series.
It's going to be awesome. Witness the game's best players square off in the ultimate fight for state pride as two of the greatest coaches, Freddie Fittler and Billy Slater, go head-to-head.
Now, the Cane Toads, or the Maroons, they dominated performance last year, saw them reclaim the shield. Now, the Blues, which are the Cockroaches, they're going to be out to deny Queensland another series win. This will be on, and it's game one.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Bring back the biff.
Game one, Ampol State of Origin kicks off Wednesday, May 31st, Adelaide Oval. It's going to be amazing. Secure your seats today at nrl.com/tickets.
Do a deal today at Southern Volkswagen. T-Cross style from $35,990. T-Roc R-Line from $48,990. In stock now for immediate delivery. Hurry, stock won't last. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Southern Volkswagen. LVD 152780.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 22 minutes after 4. Rossdale Homes are Adelaide's fixed price custom home builder because trust is a must. We are asking you in just one moment, what would you call the new Tasmanian AFL team? 8223 0000, $50 Powers voucher for the best interaction during the show. Here's your traffic.
Afternoon at Glenelg. Got some flooding on Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. There's a booth something somewhere and it's stopped traffic, so try Morford Road if you have to go that way. Got very heavy delays. Busy right now, Main North Road at Grand Junction Road, also McIntyre Road at Main North Road. Got work slowing things up at Payneham today. Portrush Road near Bakewell Road, speeds at 40 with cameras George Street, Norwood and McGill Road at McGill. is back at Hungry Jack's with over $140 million in prizes. Win free food, cash, cars and holidays. Play at Hungry Jack's. T's and C's at hjUno.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
We've got David on the line, Aldinga Beach. What do you think of Tassie?
Yeah, great, Tim. How you going? Yeah, Tassie's, great to have them back in the AFL, or have them in the AFL the first time. I reckon they should be called the Tassie Sausages.
Sausages?
Why's that?
Because they're inbred.
Oh, no.
Did you dump that?
Yep.
Why'd you dump that?
You can't use that.
Yeah, you can't use that one, Dave.
Really?
G'day. Let's hope John's got another name that we can put there. G'day, John.
Hello, guys. Rowey, I'd like you to let me know if you can fill this one. I suggest they be called the Islanders.
Yes.
And they have the Snapper as their mascot.
I like it.
Yeah, that's a good one. The Islanders.
Creative.
They're an island.
Love it.
Islanders.
Love it. It is. I've had one of my best holidays with my wife on Tassie, and she took me there kicking and screaming, and I thought, who wants to... Well, it was magnificent.
It's a pretty place.
Love it. Hello, Tommy.
G'day, how you going, boys? All right?
Excellent. What name you got, buddy?
I've got the Tasmanian quolls. They're a mean little critters.
What are they? Say that again.
A Tasmanian quoll.
Quoll.
Quoll. What's a quoll?
Yeah.
Well, if you look it up, they're
like
little brown critters with white dots on them, and they'll even attack dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Get out.
Unreal.
Okay. Yeah, good on you, Tom. I like that one.
Yeah.
I did Google Tassie and looked at all the things that they're famous for. And
but you didn't see a quoll?
I did not see a quoll.
Wow.
What I do know, when we travelled there, we went up to that, I don't know the name of the mountain, the big high mountain up there, Cradle Mountain, I think it's called.
Yeah.
God, the wombats.
Lots of wombats.
There's wombats everywhere, and they do square poos.
Wow. Oh,
square.
Interesting.
No, that is square.
I think you can take a solution for that.
Perfectly cubed square.
Definitely, you can get a solution for that. Andrew. G'day, Andrew.
Fickle.
Yeah, g'day. How are you?
What name are you thinking of, buddy?
Well, it's a bit of a long shot, but Tasmanian Terrors. Thinking of a capital T.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good one.
Terrors.
Terrors. Yeah.
Terrors.
Tear you apart. Yeah, I like it. Terrors.
Well, it's a little different, but yeah.
What would your mascot be, Andrew? What's a terror? What would it be? A
tornado or something?
Well,
lightning or
I mean,
something?
Rowie, you're a terror.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm a scallywag, Andrew. I'm not a terror. Timmy's a terror.
Oh, there's a couple on the Foodland text that we'll get to as well, but things like Tassie storms, Tassie hurricanes, those sorts of things.
Johnny?
Oh, is that me?
Hey!
Oh, that's not Blakey, is it?
It is indeed.
I've just got up on the screen John from Prospect.
Yeah, I didn't want to steal his
Blakey!
thunder because he got a good one last night.
What is it?
Why did you dump that other bloke? That was funny.
Wasn't it? See, Blakey, you and I cut from same loaf. Why wouldn't that been let to go to air?
No, that was fine, I reckon.
I know. Anyway, you and my standards, we're going to get cancelled, Blakey.
No.
What's yours? What's yours?
Yeah, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Well, listen, I reckon I came up with one, because when Port Adelaide went in, everyone was thinking, let's call them the Pirates or the Dolphins or the Wharfies. And the powers that be at Port thought laterally and thought, let's get away from furry animals and call them the Power, which was brilliant, I think. It's like name them after a concept rather than a thing.
Yep.
And so I thought, you've got the Spirit of Tasmania, the ferry that goes across. I think call them the Spirit. I can imagine the Crows going across to play the Tassie Spirit.
Yeah. I like it.
I think it works.
Mascot could be a little ghost running around.
so the kids will come to the game with white sheets over their heads with little eyes.
Yeah.
Casper,
I mean,
the ghost
you can
everywhere.
say, it was already a Spirit of Tasmania ferry, but, South Australia, every second thing's named after Hyson, so who cares?
You know what?
So,
Blakey, you win. You got the $50 pounds voucher.
Congratulations.
Well, that's the best one.
He is good.
Blakey, see you at 7.
That'll get me cancelled. All right, thank you.
Great. Well, we don't want to be cancelled.
I got somebody come into my corner too, just before we go to the break. Timmy and Rowey, I've just been to Optus Oval. And I agree with you, Timmy. I was waiting for the Christians and the Lions to come out of it. It's a stadium with no character at all. Adelaide Oval was the best for aesthetics in this country. No roof for Adelaide Oval, please, says Denise.
Very much like that call. 27 minutes after 4. You can keep flooding us with calls and texts on your Tassie team name. We'll get the headlines and Josh Carr from Port Adelaide next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
There's plenty of evidence that there's older people who get shuffled out of the job market on account of the changing nature of work. These are people who would do anything for a job.
Informing Adelaide.
A significant number of people at the other end of the spectrum who regard welfare not as a safety net but a hammock, and some of these areas of youth unemployment, they're all sitting around getting stoned. It's just a statement of fact.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Have you heard about the sunrise swim banana or the morning stroll banana, the kicking goals banana, the rowing banana, the mowing banana, the frisbee throwing banana? Well, now you have. You see, whatever you think, there's a banana to make your body sing.
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we believe you shouldn't settle for anything. You deserve the best. So why settle for an SUV when you could be enjoying an SUVW? Come and see our range of T-Roc and T-Cross, the small SUVs that are big on features. Don't wait months for your new T-Roc or T-Cross, and don't settle for an SUV when you can own an SUVW today. From Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
A cure for cancer. Imagine if the genesis of a cure was right there on the street, and you walked past it. Maybe you have. If you were on North Terrace today, you might have walked by Samry, the cheese grater. Great things are happening right here in Adelaide. Research into our biggest health challenges like heart disease, Alzheimer's, allergies, and a better quality of life for Aboriginal young people. At Samry, we don't grate cheese, we do great things. Follow our progress at samry.org.au.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows. Factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more, made right here in Adelaide, factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows, states.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Windows when and where you want them.
When elite athletes retire, they can find themselves lost for a purpose. Like Tim Ginniver.
Hey, cut it out.
The team at Greyhounds as Pets find former stars of the track a cosy home for them to put their feet up and enjoy retirement.
Now that sounds pretty good to me.
They're typically placid creatures in their later years.
Mate, I can still kick a footy.
And all are house-trained.
No comment.
For more info, visit the Greyhounds as Pets website.
Ken Hall Plumbers. We're local, we're family, and we're a trusted South Aussie. Blocked drain? Leaky tap? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers. 8364 5855.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
David Bruce with the latest news headlines. The site of the former Franklin Street bus station will be transformed into hundreds of apartments as part of the state government's push to have more affordable housing in the CBD. Cigarette taxes will increase 15% over the next 3 years in a bid to reduce smoking rates. The higher job seeker rate could be brought in for over 55s to help long-term unemployed. And AFL club presidents have voted unanimously for a 19th team to be based in Hobart. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Afternoon at Glenelg, got flooding on Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. There's a burst something somewhere and it stopped traffic. Try Morphett Road if you can. Got very heavy delays at the moment. Busy right now, Main North Road at Grand Junction Road, also McIntyre Road at Main North Road. Got a lane closed at Tennyson, Military Road near Trimmer Parade. Speeds at 40 with cameras today, Greenhill Road Burnside and McGill Road at McGill. Enjoy the Mercedes-Benz GLC 200 SUV with savings from $2,900, but only while limited stocks last. Visit a Mercedes-Benz retailer today. T&Cs apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 13 overnight, then tomorrow a morning shower or two, a top of 18 degrees. Currently it's 17. More news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
28 minutes to 5. Scott Camporelli's going to join us in studio after 5 o'clock and Kevin Sheedy on the program, plus more Port Locker Room tickets for this Sunday's game against the Bombers. We'll play Tim's Lucky Sevens very shortly.
Yep, just looking at the Foodland text, I can't see any Tassie penguin, so perhaps that wasn't a good suggestion. But there is a penguin in Tasmania.
No, and our guest coming up after 5:30,
Alistair Nicholson,
was born in
penguin.
So you googled it.
Well, Sam didn't believe me.
I didn't believe you until I looked it up.
And you won a carton of beer from him.
You're guilty. Maybe I'll get one off of this bloke. Never know your luck. Port Adelaide had a great 7-point win on Friday night over St Kilda. We got their midfield coach, Josh Carr, on the line. G'day, Carrie.
Yeah, g'day, guys.
How are you, buddy? Hey, how did you out-defend the defenders? Good job.
Oh, look, I think defensively we've been pretty strong over the last 3 to 4 weeks. We knew that coming into this game that, I guess, goals weren't going to come easy against Stones, being the best defensive team by a fair bit. So we just knew we had to sort of hang in there and really make them defend us. I guess one-on-one, forward of centre, and we did a good job. And in the end, we got the win.
Yeah, and probably after quarter time, it looked like you guys had control of the game, albeit it was still a close encounter, but it looked like we had the better of those 3 quarters.
Yeah, we had to hang in there. Obviously, the first quarter, we started the game, the first 5 minutes of the game well. We weren't connecting going forward. We probably could have been a bit more patient with the ball at times, but in the end, after quarter time, we played the game the way that we wanted to play it, and we got some good looks forward and to our forwards one-on-one, and managed to kick enough of a score to win the game.
You've won 4 straight. They've all been great and gritty. What's changed?
I think the way that we've attacked the season, and from pre-season until I guess the way that we're playing now. Obviously, those 2 games against Collingwood and the Crows. The Collingwood one was really disappointing. The Crows one, the last 15 minutes of that last quarter was not the way that we wanted to play the game. But I think our pressure and the way we've attacked the contest has been the change and what stepped up with the way that we've been able to pressure opposition and defend and then able to go forward and kick goals.
Lots been made of Ken moving downstairs. Just for those that listen and are Port supporters, the levers that are pulled now, we think they happen upstairs with you guys. You're all wired up and you're down to the bench and you let the messages go and you make the moves and the whatnot. What's changed with Ken being down there?
Well, I think with Ken being down the bench, he's been able to get around the players and support them. But as far as the conversations that have been had, I guess between all the coaches is no different. We switch between lines and we talk to Ken down on the bench and we have conversations as a group still together, with Ken included. So that hasn't changed. It's just now Ken's down on the bench and able to support the players more, which is a real strength of his.
Whose call was it?
Well, it was Kenny's really in the end. Ken goes down there. He gets to choose where he sits. So that's Ken's call.
Yeah. Well, I noticed you used to coach from the bench. You love it. It does give you a better aspect and more control of the players, and they can see you in the eyes and they can feel the intensity of the message, can't they?
Yeah, well, you can be there to support them, and I guess, coaching is always, between that, you've got the assistant coaches that you've got trust in, and Ken's got a lot of trust in us to make sure that we're seeing what we're seeing up top there and to communicate down to him and the players. And it's all about, I guess, the collaborative approach to get it done as a coaching group. But in the end, you still got the senior coach that makes those final decisions.
Would you go down there as well?
What, if I was coaching?
Yeah.
I don't know. Rowey, obviously I did that at North to the back end of my time there, and it just depends on what the team needs, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Curry, I was saying to Ken on Friday, we interviewed him just before the game, I was just saying I found it had a calming effect on me as the coach. It was because you can't carry, you can get you can get a bit loose in the box, can't you?
Oh, Timmy, get loose, please.
Yeah, you can get angry, and I reckon it's a calming effect because you've got to control yourself as they're coming off and having those conversations.
Oh, no doubt about it. That I guess you're there, you're next to the players, and it does keep you under more control than what you can do up in the box.
Hey, mate, your boys in the middle, I thought were really good again. We know about Horn Francis, his development's coming along beautifully. The old boy Boki got a terrific game under his belt, but I've just missed the 1%er for mine, Willem Drew. He just does things that other people don't see. They're all the team things, and I even saw a shepherd. Now, I don't see shepherding happen too often in AFL, but he's shepherded, and he's that sort of guy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, Drew, he's a real pleasure to coach, and I think that his teammates really obviously respect the way that he goes about his football, and it's all those little things that you've spoken about, little taps to advantage that he doesn't grab the ball just to get a possession. He's happy just to hit it to the advantage of his teammates, and he's really getting recognised from within, and I reckon externally he's starting to get a bit more recognition also.
Excellent. Hey, how do the Bombers differ from St Kilda style-wise?
Oh, well, they're a pretty attacking team.
100 points in a loss is attacking, isn't it?
Yeah. They take the game on and, really can sort of charge at the opposition. So, we're ready for it. We're looking forward to another game against a really good opposition. So, there's a challenge in front of us.
Not many players, I'd say, can go all right on one leg, but there was a bloke on the weekend called Charlie Dixon that went all right on one leg. He had 3 magnificent contests. Is he in doubt this week? Because hearing him talk sounds like the knee's still not good, yeah. Joshy.
I don't think he's in doubt. I'm pretty sure he's pulled up well from the game. Obviously, he was a little bit sore going into the game, but he did what we needed him to do and gave us a contest and kicked an important goal also. So, we're expecting Charlie to be out there this weekend.
And is the injury list starting to mount?
Well, obviously Durs is, that's a bit flattening, and he's been going pretty well. So, that hurts. But we get Toddy back, and we get Tommy Jones back also.
Hey, Draper and Phillips, 2 big guys, go about it slightly different. How will you approach that combo? And how are you seeing young Bryn Teakle?
Yeah, well, it's a dangerous combo. I think Phillips got subbed out the other day, but there's definitely one that's been working for him. And Teak's development, I think he's getting a taste of it. Played his 4th game on the weekend. Had some really good contests in and around the stoppages, and he's got a lot to learn as a ruck also. So. At the moment, he's getting the opportunity, but we need more from him, and he's got to keep improving.
And Scotty Lycett, there was on the website just said he hurt his back in the Magpies game.
Yeah, he just got a bit of a knock, and I think he landed awkwardly. So we expect him to be available.
Joshy Carr, you're a thinker of the game, thinker in residence. Love your footy brain. Tassie going to be in officially next year with question without notice. What's their nickname? Give us one. The Tassie...
The Tassie Penguins, I didn't mind that one.
Oh, no!
Oh, Tim, you're better than that, Joshy.
No, I got no idea.
All right. I know you don't care. Care factor nil. Josh, well done, mate. Keep it up. You've won 4 in a row. You got Essendon home. It'll be an absolute cracker. Yeah, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Josh Carr, our guest, coaching the midfield, and a wise man he is indeed.
What for agreeing with you?
You know, you said he's a thinking man. Well, he wasn't thinking at all about that question.
He could not care.
He was just thinking, I got to get out.
Could not care.
And well done to him.
Well, there's a lot of them coming up on the screen.
Well, I got
the Tassie Apples.
Did you like the Troy one where he said, why bother with Tasmania? They could call them the Hobart Hurricanes, for example, which is like the BBL side. But you can take it away from Tassie, but you want the whole of Tassie involved.
You can't just have Hobart support them.
But
a lot of people go, get stuffed.
But if you go back to 91, did go with the Adelaide Crows. It wasn't South Australian Crows, was it? So maybe there is something in that. The other thing is, I'm with you though, because it's the Launceston Hobart thing.
Yeah.
That's the issue, I reckon, that's underlying here. Yeah. What do you call it? A crocodile in the curtain?
You don't want crocodiles in the curtains. Hey, Rowey and Timmy, Foodland Tex, what about the Tasmanian banjos? Oh, there's a bit of a link to that one.
Again, that's why I fell off.
Tassie Typhoons?
Don't mind that. Tassie Apples is an interesting one, and I like the thought of this person who didn't put their name there, unfortunately, but perfect sponsorship opportunity from a US-based company that perhaps has got deep pockets. That's not a bad suggestion.
I've driven all the way around that island. I didn't see one apple tree.
Yeah, right.
What's the story with Tassie Apples?
It's called the Apple Isle.
Because it looks like an apple.
Yeah. It's
not that there's apples on it.
Yeah.
You go up to the Adelaide Hills. Now, there's apples. Kersbrook, Lenswood.
They got good apples.
Anything with a wood in it has good apples.
How do you like them apples?
How do you like them
You've got
apples?
the James brothers up there.
18 minutes
Red
to 5.
ones, green ones,
We'll
big
keep
ones.
taking your calls in just a minute on the name of the Tassie team. Feel free to call in, but we're going to do this.
It's time for 7-Time Timmy's Lucky Sevens.
Yeah, we're doing our Lucky Sevens for Port Adelaide locker room tickets. We've got a double to give away to this Sunday's game, Port Essendon at the Adelaide Oval. 12:40 start, and you can book your tickets at portadelaideFC.com.au. But if you want to get into our locker room, reserve seats in the Riverbank stand, level 1, you got pre-game dinner, half-time Balfour's footy feed, 5-hour drinks package. It is all there, and you can see into the players' change rooms. An outstanding spot. 8223 0055. Get on the line. Here's your traffic.
Glenelg got flooding on Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. There's a burst something somewhere. It stopped traffic. Very heavy delays. Keep it in mind if you must go that way. Busy right now. Gloomburn Road at Marion Road. Also McIntyre Road at Main North Road. Slow for works at Hilton. Got a lane out of action there. So Donald Braber Drive near Pearson Street. Speeds at 25. With cameras today, the Parade, Roslyn Park and Sturt Road at Brighton. It's back to school and the Adelaide Central Market is open today. Shop the best fresh local produce, healthy snacks and lunchbox essentials with over 70 traders under one roof. Adelaide Central Market. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. Tune into the 5AA Sports Show each week for Where Are They Now? The sporting names you remember from the past, revisited. Thanks to Walco. Winter is coming. Save money and get a Walco Guardian pool cover. Visit walco.com.au.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-wheel drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each Terrain Tamer four-wheel drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the team at Lynn Andrews Real Estate have made it easy to manage residential and commercial property. Whether you own a single residential home or multiple commercial properties, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge to share. How to invest safely and properly. Matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Now, this will creep up on you quicker than what you think. end of financial year. Well, they call it EFIS, end of financial year. It can, and when you hear it, you go, oh, I haven't done anything about it. Hey, but to celebrate your work wins and recover from the losses of everything in between, Jarmer's Kitchen has just the thing.
Now, it's smart to be doing that now because we're early May.
Correct.
And you want to be booking for the end of May, June, and you've got your budgets.
Correct.
And you don't want to have anything left over in the budget.
And you can celebrate what you've done.
You need to spendy it now.
Good
so
idea.
you get the same budget next year. That's how I look at it.
June 30.
So tools down, sharing food preparated by a third-generation chef. His name is Chris Jarmer. Is the perfect way to cap off the financial year with your colleagues. I've had a number of Make-A-Wish functions up in that upstairs room, and he's got the big back stairs. Oh, God.
There's plenty of room. Jarmer's is the perfect location for it as well. Just a few minutes from the city in Bowden. It's a renovated old pub, actually, once upon a time, with ample function spaces to suit, sit-down diners or cocktails, presentations, anything that you want to happen, it can happen, and includes free car parking.
Well, it does. Traditional schnitzels.
Beautiful they are.
God, the food's spectacular, whether it's a la carte or
canapes.
I was going to call them canaps again. Chris, don't put fancy words in there.
Yeah.
But it's fancy made easy. It is just absolutely superb. I love this restaurant.
And it is amazing. So, look, get in touch for all your end of financial year events. jarmerskitchen.com.au. Jarmer's Kitchen, it's fancy made easy.
Hi, Katie Bridges here, market lead at FIVEAA. The Vinnie's CEO Sleepout is back, June 22nd at the home of tennis in SA, The Drive. 2023 will mark my third time sleeping out. I keep coming back to the Vinnie's CEO Sleepout because everyone deserves a safe place to call home, and I know the funds we raise are in good hands with Vinnie's. If you're a business or community leader who cares about our community like I do, don't drop the ball. Sign up now at ceosleepout.org.au.
Hurry into Ranella Mazda. We're stocked with CX-5 and CX-9 ready for immediate delivery. No reasonable offer will be refused. CX-5 and CX-9 stock must be cleared. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Ranella Mazda. LVD 152780.
If you make a living out of being a handy person, it's handy to know that Rollerco has got you covered when it comes to parts for sliding doors and windows. Actually, I'd say you're more than covered. We stock over 3,000 different spare parts, which means you can pop in, get what you need, and get back to it. No messing around. Time's money, right? Rollerco. We'll get you rolling. 26 Jacobson Crescent, Holden Hill. Just 15 minutes from the city.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
12 minutes to 5. Scotty Camperelli to join us in Coach's Corner after 5 o'clock, but it's time for this.
It's time for 7-Time Timmy's Lucky Sevens.
Yeah, it's for a Port Adelaide locker room. They play Essendon Sunday. It's got reserved seats, pre-game dinner, it's got the lot. It's fantastic. This little contest goes a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Because you won 7 flags.
It does.
So it's Timmy's 7th.
It does go too long. You're
anyway,
right.
Andy from Albert Park. Here's Timmy.
Here we go, Andy. Okay, first question, my friend, is since Port Adelaide's AFL inception in 97, which Port Adelaide coach has the best winning percentage?
Yeah. Okay, Choco.
Choco, it's not. Let's move on to Michael. G'day, Michael.
Hello, boys.
Okay, do you know which Port Adelaide coach in the AFL's got the best winning percentage?
Is it Ken Hinkley?
That is correct. Well done, Michael.
Well, the lead for the straight at 59.13, but yet they still want him out.
Question 2. Tasmanian AFL team will be team number what in the league?
19.
Correct,
Well,
Michael. Well done. Number 3. Who has won more minor premierships in the AFL, the Crows or Port?
Port Adelaide.
Correct. They've won 4 and Crows have won 2. He's on a roll. Up to question 4. Which player has the most disposals for the Adelaide Crows this season?
Is it Jordan Dawson?
No, it's not. Unfortunately, he was on a roll there, Michael. We go to Jeff. G'day, Jeff.
G'day, guys.
Do you know which Crow has the most possessions this season?
Jeez.
Jeff, are you a Port man?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, fair enough too, and I'm proud of you.
Why would we put Crow's questions in a port quiz?
Not sure. We're going to go...
Just between you and I, Tim, do you write these?
No.
Okay.
I'll go to Nick. G'day, Nick.
Hey, boys.
How are you, buddy? Do you know which Crow player has the most possessions this season so far?
Oh, it's got to be a mid, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not Dawson, and it's not Rory Sloane. It's possibly Rory Laird.
Oh, okay, I'll go with that, Rowey.
Well done.
Rory Laird.
Well done, Nick. Congratulations.
Wow. Yeah. Well done, Nicky.
Nick, who is the current coach of the Port Adelaide Magpies sample side?
Oh, my Lord.
Nickname, Moneybags.
Nick,
I've handed it to you.
Sorry, Nick.
Sorry, Nick.
You got one for free.
I tried to help him.
We got Adriano on the line. Adriano, do you know who's coaching the Magpies sample side for Port Adelaide?
Mr. Goldsack.
Correct, it is. Question 6 now, Adriano, very close. Which Port Adelaide player has kicked the most goals this season?
Todd Marshall.
No.
It's the other one.
Close, but no cigar. Let's go to Marco. Marco, question 6. Who's kicked the most goals for Port Adelaide this season?
The big fella.
Yeah.
Has he got a name?
Yeah, which one?
His name is...
Oh,
Marco.
Oh.
Do you know what? You can freeze.
Yeah, well, I just heard it.
He froze.
Dave. G'day, Dave.
G'day, boys.
Who's got the most goals for Port Adelaide this season?
Finlayson?
No.
Sorry,
this
Dave.
bloke's got a bung knee. We just spoke about
Darren.
him. Darren.
G'day, Darren.
Sorry?
Yeah, g'day, Darren. Who's kicked the most goals for Port Adelaide this season?
He's got a bung knee, he just said.
Yeah, he's a big snoozer.
It's Charlie Dixon.
Oh,
Yes.
God, thank God. I'm doing the last one, Darren.
Thanks,
This
Rowey.
is like pulling teeth, this. It's for a Port Adelaide locker room
It is.
double, which is gold.
Yeah.
I wished I could go in that room.
Darren's keen.
Okay. Darren, if you get this wrong, fair dinkum. Fair dinkum.
You're never to come back on the show
How
again.
many sample premierships did my co-host, Tim Ginniver, win?
I reckon Timmy won 7.
Yes, it's called 7-time Timmy's Lucky 7 quiz, and it's the last time we're playing it, Darren, because it goes too long and there's too many dopies.
Hey, Darren, well done, mate. I'll tell you what, it was a nervous moment for you, mate. You were going to be barred from ever calling in again.
Yeah, I know. I thought someone had already said Charlie Dixon, but when you said knee injury, I'm thinking there's no one else with a knee injury.
Well done, Des. Mate, you know
congratulations,
what?
mate.
You will love that. What's he won again?
Well, it's a double pass to the Port Adelaide locker room this
good.
Sunday via
How
the Bombers. If you want to get tickets, go to portadelaidefc.com.au.
And that'll be a cracking game, that one.
I reckon it will be, because
Okay.
they like to have a crack.
We got
Bombers.
some names of the Tassie team. It's going to be official tomorrow. They're going to stamp it. Port is Port Power. The Suns, the Giants.
Yep.
Do we go down that theme?
Which theme are we going to go with, John?
Because all the Maggies and the Swans and all them are taken.
Correct.
Hello, Johnny.
Oh, how are you?
What
I was going to go for the Islanders, but I'll go second best. The Choppers.
Choppers?
They're
that's-
very strong, very strong with their wood choppers.
They
in
were.
Tassie.
Yes, correct.
The Choppers.
Had a lot of champions
Yes.
come to the
Yes.
Royal Adelaide
Exactly.
show.
And they're very big. They're very big boys.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Do you know what we get? Well done, John. I like that one. I still think Blakey's in front.
The Spirit.
With the Spirit. Foodland Tex. A lot of people are talking about the Tasmanian tiger. Back in the day was known to be a wolf. The Tasmanian wolves or the Tasmanian timber wolves.
Yeah. Well, that's going a bit American, but yeah.
Hello, Dirk Artog.
How are you, mate? All right?
Yeah, good.
Hey, Tim and Rowey, of course, logic would dictate, mate. You'd have the Tassie Devils. And, of course, North Melbourne, they could change their logo, mate. It's not the Kangaroos, it's dog poo. They're a bit smelly, Rowey.
Oh, Dirk, he's just gone from it to...
Fair enough,
I
too.
love our listeners.
Beautiful.
There's a few more texts, Timmy.
Oh, plenty, actually.
Tassie Thunder.
Yeah, Falcons was thrown up as well, so that's an interesting one. I'm not sure how many Falcons they might have a few Falcons over there.
What about the Southern Chill?
Yeah,
that's creative.
And that's creative, but the other one, Tasmaniacs. Tony put in.
okay.
I don't mind that.
Okay.
The Tasmaniacs, and you could have that song from the movie, Maniac.
No.
Yeah,
Don't sing.
Tasmaniacs.
You're not allowed to sing, Tim.
Okay, I was just
go to Vinny
talking
at
it through.
Grange.
Hey guys,
Hey, Benny.
how about the stingrays?
Stingray.
Why's that? There's no stingrays in Tassie.
Well, we could put a few.
All right, that's
Whatever it
creative.
takes. Whatever it takes.
That's all right.
I
We'll
like
just
it.
Get a few stingrays just to hum around Hobart. Hello, Pete.
How you going, boys? Look, it's got to be the thylacines.
The who?
The thylacines.
What's that?
The original Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, is that right? Is that what it's called?
What will really upset the Victorians is that in the crowd they'll be calling out, "Come on, the tigers!" But no, they're the thylacines. Nothing to see here.
Never knew that.
Yeah, okay.
Never
like
knew
it.
that.
This one's quite creative, right?
Thanks, Pete.
The Tassie Kazales. Because Roy Kazale
was from Tasmania.
Yeah, was a Tasmanian. So, how's that?
I like that. So the theme song is up there, Kazale.
They're Kazale. They sing it. They've already got a club song.
Okay, so they've got the club song.
Yeah.
The mascot's just Kazale, jumping on everyone's shoulders.
Yeah,
taking hangers on kids.
Oh, I like it.
The Kazales.
The Kazales.
Blakey
Interestingly,
might be knocked off.
You know, the football ground up in Cairns is called Kazales.
Kazale Stadium.
Yeah. So, but I reckon that's the go.
Well, that's on the podium. I think Spirit's on the podium.
Okay, Spirit's on the
Kazale's
podium.
on the podium.
Yep, good work.
And the Timberwolves are on the podium.
The Wolves.
The Wolves.
I like it.
Alan.
Yeah, hello. I don't think you can name them the Tasmanian anything because none of the football teams are named after the state.
Yeah.
So what happens if a second team comes in? So I reckon a good name for them would be the Hobart Harriers. Harriers being a type of hawk that they find in the swamp areas of Tasmania.
Gotcha. Harrier Hawk. Don't mind it. The Harriers.
So do you think there'll be two teams ever in Tasmania? I don't think so.
No, there won't be two, but...
You can't put Hobart in there. I'm sorry, Alan, because the Launceston folk and the folk north of Hobart won't support it. And they need the whole state behind it.
When we get Alistair on, I reckon Penguin is north.
Okay.
I think it's northwest, around there. I'll be interested in his thoughts, being a local, to say whether that is still happening, the divide between north and south, and whether they don't want it to be called Hobart for a reason, then it has to be Tasmania.
That'd be a good question.
And they'd be unique to be the only one that's named after a state.
They'd love that. 2 minutes to 5. We're going to get the news coming up, and then Scott Camporelli in Coach's Corner after that.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
3 words your friends and family never like hearing.
We're moving house.
Well, you can always rely on budget truck and car rentals to help out. From 3-ton moving trucks you can drive on a car licence to vans and moving trailers. Budget car and truck rentals make it easy as to move house. Do it right in half the time and save money with budget car and truck rentals. Call 13 27 27.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Wearable tech is a fantastic way to enhance your health and fitness routine and hold yourself accountable. The Fitbit Versa 3 is one of the most reliable smartwatches in the game. It's packed with health and fitness features like 24/7 heart rate tracking, sleep management tools, and built-in GPS. Plus, you can receive smartphone notifications and control Spotify when your phone is nearby, and it's water resistant up to 50 metres. It's super easy to use, making the perfect Mother's Day gift for health-conscious or tech-savvy mums. And just in time for Mother's Day, Harvey Norman have a great offer on the Fitbit Versa 3. Save $100 off the recommended retail price and get it for an incredible $198 in black, midnight or pink. This fantastic offer ends May the 17th.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Enjoy a magical day with Holiday Wonders with some great choices available. Visit Swan Reach with lunch at the hotel and a True Blue Billy tea during our farm experience. Or choose to lunch in the beautiful Rivergum restaurant at the Bridgeport Hotel and tour the magnificent new raceway at Tailem Bend. A cruise on the Murray River and lunch at the Manham Club is always a special day. What a great way to help our river community with your River Rival voucher. Visit SA Tourism website for bookings.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Getting down to 13 overnight, then a morning shower or two tomorrow, a top of 18 degrees. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm David Bruce.
It's nearly tax time. Act now for immediate delivery on Mitsubishi Triton from Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Cigarette taxes will rise 5% a year for the next 3 years in a bid to reduce smoking rates even further. About 10% of Australians smoke, but there are concerns more young people are vaping and using it as a pathway to cigarettes. The federal government believes it'll raise more than $3 billion from higher tobacco taxes. Health Minister Mark Butler is hoping the increase will deter people from smoking in the first place.
We're determined not to see the price of cigarettes start to become more attractive as against CPI. We've got to continue to send that price signal.
The government is also moving towards banning recreational vaping altogether. The Reserve Bank has lifted interest rates by 25 points, taking the official cash rate from 3.6 to 3.85%. It's the 11th rate rise in just 12 months. The latest increase goes against the prediction rates would be kept on hold, amid signs households are continuing to feel cost of living pressures. The cash rate is now the highest in 11 years. Inflation is running at 7%, more than double the Reserve's target of 2 to 3%. The federal government says it's constantly on alert for scammers and hackers, with reports MyGov accounts have been compromised. One woman says her data has been stolen from the Tax Office, Medicare and Centrelink, and it's now being used by criminals. She says scammers have applied for credit cards in her name and have threatened to publish her details on the dark web. Services Australia Minister Bill Shorten says MyGov is on alert.
I know that we've got 25 people, for example, right now trawling the dark web just to secure information. So I'm not complacent. I worry with the rise in the future of quantum computing, foreign nations hoovering up data which they can't crack yet. I think it's a constant business of whack-a-mole where we've got to be doing everything we can.
A major incentive program will kick in from next year aimed at boosting Defence Force staff retention. A $50,000 bonus will be offered to people who agree to stay on for another 3 years after their initial service period. Defence housing will also be reviewed to make it more attractive to new Defence personnel. Canadian folk music icon Gordon Lightfoot has died. He had been in declining health and recently cancelled a North American tour. The singer-songwriter enjoyed his greatest chart success in the 70s, including 5 Australian hits.
Every highway you see.
The AFL footy cards, available at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade.
AFL club presidents have voted unanimously for a 19th team to be based in Hobart. It's taken them just 15 minutes during a video hookup to back the franchise. The granting of the licence now goes to the AFL Commission for a formal ratification before being officially announced tomorrow. Novak Djokovic has been cleared to play in the American hardcourt tennis season, including the US Open. It comes after the US dropped its COVID vaccination mandate for international travellers. And Leicester City has moved out of the EPL's relegation zone after a 2-2 draw with Everton. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Monterey, look out for a crash Northeast Road near Tea Tree Plaza. Enfield got another collision there. Grand Junction Road near Main North Road. And Glenelg got some heavy flooding. Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. Really heavy delays. Avoid it if you can on the drive home. Busy at the moment, Glenburn Road at Paynham Road. And look out for works today at Theberton, Port Road near Phillip Street. Cameras, Cooper Place, Beaumont and Diagonal Road at Sturt. Book online at mycar.com.au and get $100 off your next logbook service, plus 12 months free roadside assistance. Available until May 14. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A morning shower or two, 18 the top tomorrow after an overnight low of 13. A shower or two on Thursday, 18 again. And then showers increasing on Friday, 19. Currently 16. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Tonight, the biggest smoking reform in a decade. Disposable vapes used by thousands of Australians set to be banned. Interest rates hiked again, the painful rise the experts didn't predict. Did roadworks crossing Confusion cost a woman her life in the heart of the city? Plus, meet the new female boss of Qantas. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated. Because it's personal.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. This month we have a great offer on Nutrivital Homeopathics Melatonin 30C tablets. Right now, 130 tablets are only $12.50. That's a massive 40% off the regular price. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Monopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
6 minutes after 5. Coming up this hour, Kevin Sheedy after 5:30. Alistair Nicholson, a proud Tasmanian, and we'd love your calls on the back of that. What should the name of the new Tasmanian team be, which should be announced tomorrow? 8223 0000 is our number. But now, time to welcome in for the first time on the Drive Show in 2023, Scott Camporelli, all thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. Greatness is in the making.
Here he comes again, Camporelli. Camporelli on the board, arches his back, snapshot by Camporelli.
Coach's Corner with Campo.
Well, we have Cornsey thanks to BL Shipway. You can't eat a hydraulic. We got Scotty Camporelli for Coach's Corner, Unique Homestyle Foods, and Campo, you have brought in the biggest, freshest, juiciest, is that the word?
Yeah.
Donuts, choppy donuts I have ever seen. Wow. Go on, Timmy. Welcome, Campo.
How good do they smell?
Oh, God.
Amazing.
Unique Homestyle Foods. Just tell us about them first.
Oh, well, they're just Matty down there. I actually went down there today, had a look around his factory down at Richmond, and like great setup. Like essentially, he's got everything there that you want. So he supplies a lot of supplies and delis and petrol stations all around South Australia.
I'll get back
and, so I go to OTR a lot. That's what I'm eating.
Yeah, well,
give us a pie and give us a donut.
Yeah, Ex-Convenience, all
I'll
those.
get out.
Yeah, so he's done a wonderful job, Matt, down there, and
Good on
great
him.
setup. Not many people know that he's down there because he obviously supplies, but you know, really trying to get ahead of the game. And those donuts, I had one before, and I'm trying to lose some weight, Roy. They are unbelievable.
Well, no, I might wolf a couple down on the way home.
These ones are all right because they got holes in them. So
it's only half of one, is it?
But in the intro there, Unique Homestyle Foods, 35 years. That's a serious business to be around for that long.
No, it is.
You don't fluke that. You're doing something mighty good.
Yeah, and he does, and it was a family business, and Matt's taken it over, and he's been around a long time, knows what he's doing, and a ripping fella as well.
Okie dokie. Let's talk about the Crows first, and we'll move into Port Adelaide. Timmy, gee, you and I called the game. Oh, it was heartbreaking in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You know, it was disappointing, but I guess if I take the coaches and take the emotion out of it, which is what you try and do as a coach, is you sit there and go, well, what do we do really well? Was the game played the way that we want it to play? And that's a massive tick for mine. So, and we said it previously, maybe the week before Rowey against Hawthorn, we said that next month is going to be really important. They're playing some really top-level teams that are in good form, and they're in good form. And it's not necessarily, for me, wins and losses. Yes, that's important, but it's how they're going about it. And, yeah, they dropped it on the weekend, but for me, there was a lot of positives out of that, and how they're trying to play, and the way you can see the Adelaide, their DNA, and you hear him talk about contested possession. Yes, clearance probably not so much this week, but it has been a real strength for them. Their turnover game's gone to another level, both defending and attacking, which was a real concern for mine coming into 2023, how they were going to address that. and they're now kicking the ball so much better and moving the ball with a little bit more speed with that forward line. Outstanding. So, other than, once again, it was probably just that moment, in that second half of the last quarter. We thought after Chase Jones kicked that goal, 22 points, you're sitting there going, we're almost there, but, you never say never, but they just lost control around that midfield, particularly.
How does that happen? Let's talk about that tactically. The Crows lost 12-1 at stoppage in that last quarter. You had a dominant ruckman in Riley O'Brien. How could he not connect with those midfielders? Now, that's your art. You are the manager of that area. I'm at a loss for those numbers.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because the raw numbers are the raw numbers. And it's a bit like, I equate it to, you can have 30 kicks, but 15 of them might be effective, right? So when you go up against a dominant ruckman, and I was lucky enough to coach against Sanderlands and Dean Cox and some of these guys, but sometimes you almost used to lick your lips. You're there going, we've got Sam Jacobs, Sam was very good at his craft. But sometimes you go, boys, let's hit with the grain here. Yeah. And what I mean by that is...
hit where they hit.
Hit where they hit. So we know where it's going, they know where it's going, and let's make it a little bit more. Rather than trying to think, we're going to really nice and connect in here. And what Collingwood did really well is they just blocked all the exits, so they didn't let you out. So it might not necessarily be the first touch, but the pressure around the contest able them to tip the ball over in that part of the ground and then counter-attack off it, and they got scored 3-3 out of that source for the game. So that,
from stoppage,
and that was pretty much the ball game.
Yeah, that was the ball game. They keep their shape around there really well. We talk about that Noble goal. In the end, it was a turnover by Schomburg, and how do you defend that?
Yeah, well, you don't. No. Unfortunately, they're the coach killers that you want to try and I would suggest VB would have got Harry and said, maybe next time let's just not flick it out into space into the corridor where we know that Collingwood are probably the best team at scoring from and want to attack you through there. So it's not a defensive mindset, but it's those little things, as you guys know when you play. They're the little things that you can just lock the ball in, maybe just push it defensively a bit, but you can still attack, but you don't have to attack like that into the corridor.
The momentum had well and truly gone by that stage, though, hadn't it, to Collingwood? And I just couldn't believe how much Adelaide had that momentum in that first half. They were all over, and it looked like for the first time Collingwood were at a loss to try and correct it.
They should have put him to bed.
They
They
did.
had the sword to their throat.
Yeah, and particularly probably that first quarter, they kicked 3-6. I mean, 3-6, and you go back to the Carlton game when they kicked 7-1, I think it was, in the quarter. A completely different mindset. So, and we said it on the call, Rowey, and you guys have played. When you're looking up at the scoreboard and it's 3-6 and we're, 1-2, you're there going, I'm still in the game here. Like, we're not playing at our absolute best at all, and we're still in the game. They've given us an opportunity. But if you look up and it's 6-3-1, you're there going, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Maybe not Collingwood, because history shares that they're pretty good at it coming back.
Campo, I went hard about them taking Saligo off, and it's not in hindsight, because I asked you the specific question at three-quarter time, and you did not mention his name. You mentioned the other 19. Like, you had him the 20th one. Yeah. I'm at a loss for that one.
Yeah, well, I listened to Nixie's aftermatch because I was as interested as what you are, because, once again, I have the coaching hat on, so I'm interested in the conversation or the strategy behind it.
Was he injured? What was it pre-planned?
Correct, and I was sitting there going, was it one of those? Was he a bit tight? He's a young player.
What does he know that we don't know?
Correct. So you sort of give the coach the benefit of the doubt, but he got asked the question in the press conference, and it was more, we needed some speed and some run through the midfield, so we went with Schomburg, but they didn't get to see it because Collingwood controlled the game.
Correct.
So they sort of fired one over the bow to see if they could get some run. In hindsight, it probably wasn't the right decision because I think he was really important to him on the day, and I ended up giving him a vote, I think, Rowey, on the end of the day. After three quarters. Well, you can't have 24 and have 13 and 14 contested, and he's one that they probably needed, but once again, we're probably not going to go the whole story, but at the end of the day, they live and die by the sort of the decision you make.
Yeah, I think they probably, I reckon they know now. Yeah, we wouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Hey, Port Adelaide had a gritty win on Friday night. They've just found a way to tighten up, haven't they? I think the first 2 weeks they self-admitted that, perhaps we were trying to play too much forward of the footy. We've had to go back to a bit of defensive stuff, but they've done it well in a style that beat. Well, I said to Josh Carr, You out-defended the defenders.
Yeah, correct. I mean, that was going to be the challenge for
I'll just grab one of those.
Yeah, get into it, mate. Well, and that was the challenge for mine, is how do you get... I mean, Ross Lyon coach teams are tough. You know, they're really tight in around the contest. They back themselves with ground ball, which the numbers stand up again for St Kilda, and then they just wear you down. And it's not necessarily going to be 100-point, you know, who kicks that first, which we often see. So, but the thing with Port, they were really good against Brisbane. Then they dropped the next two. They have changed the way they played. I look like the first couple of weeks they were definitely going quicker.
Yes.
Whereas previously, the last couple of years, when I've called the games and looked at their numbers, it's more time in possession. Let's keep the ball off the opposition. Let's restrict their time with the ball and not get scored against. And then that backed up their defensive part of their game. But since the Crows game, I mean, they got scored 100 points against 2 weeks in a row, and then they stripped it right back. And you can see, you know, defensively, they're much better and they're settled. And their contested possession has always been one of their key indicators whether they win or lose. And they've been able to, and even on the weekend, they didn't blow St Kilda out of the water. I think they were -1 or +1 from memory. But that just allows you to be in the game and not give the opposition more of the ball in that contested situation, allow them to tack.
And they're having to do something similar to Collingwood in that, because they're not really dominating ruck, and they've got an issue in that space, but they're doing what they did with Finlayson for most of last year, and just saying, right, okay, we can concede that, but we're going to try and win it anyway by doing this.
Well, and I think if you take Collingwood and you take Port, essentially what they've got really good balls inside, but they've got really good balance on the outside, so guys don't get sucked in. And when you start losing control of the contest, it ends up being bees to a honeypot, and that's the best thing for a team who's trying to score, because you're there going, we'll keep backing our guys on the inside. Can we get the ball on the outside, which is essentially what Collingwood do, and then they come through the corridor. I mean, that was as brave as any team in the competition. You saw it, you know, on the game. They're pinging it from, you know, their back 50. They're coming straight through the corridor and going to ask you a question, whether you're prepared to defend it or we're going to score.
Excellent, mate. We'll have a quick break, but we'll come back with a couple of... Well, we'll ask about a few other coaches in the competition, just see where they're at, and whether you like the Tassie Penguins or not. We'll just find out.
Scotty Camporelli, all thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods. Here's your traffic.
At Modbury, look out for a crash North East Road near Tea Tree Plaza. Enfield, another collision there, Grand Junction Road near Main North Road. And Glenelg, got some serious flooding there, Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. Got some pretty solid delays there too. Busy right now, Salisbury Highway at the Port Wakefield Road overpass. And we've got cameras on the drive home today. Maryvale Road, Athelston and Ocean Boulevard at Seacliff Park. Why pay FPOS fees to your bank? Switch to SmartPay. You could save thousands without dropping your business bank. Visit smartpay.com.au. T's and C's and minimum turnover apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sport Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. People buy a solar system to save money and do the right thing by the environment. So why would you buy a battery? Well, people buy a battery because they want independence from the grid. They don't want to be inconvenienced in the event of a blackout, and of course, protect themselves from future power rises. Now, electricity is going up, so whatever your needs are regarding solar and battery storage, you can rely on NRG Solar for the right solution. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Mike Smithson to the program, and oh dear, more bad news for homeowners.
Yeah, Timmy, sure is. More pain for SA families as interest rates rise again, but is this the end of it? Who knows? A tourist struck and killed by a bus during a night out in the city. Why she didn't see the vehicle coming. A true tragic story, that one. Plus, new details about the final weeks of celebrity chef Jock Zonfrillo. The huge crackdown on vaping coming up in the federal budget. And of course, we're live to Rosanna in London ahead of the coronation, and she's loving it, I can tell you that much. And the injured Mitch Georgiadis, message for his Power fans. These stories coming up at 6 o'clock, Tim.
Thanks, Mike, and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice, 7 News, tonight at 6.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond to take a test drive of the car that everyone is raving about, the Cherry Motor 5. Oh, these seats are so comfortable, and the state-of-the-art tech is worthy of a car 3 times its price. And almost every function of the vehicle can be controlled by voice. Check this out. Cherry.
What's up?
Close sunroof.
Okay, I'll close the sunroof.
Book yourself a test drive of this incredible Motor 5 from 33k drive away. Visit gocherry.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 21 minutes after 5. We've got Scott Camporelli here, all thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods and Kevin Sheedy, not far away after 5:30.
Yeah, well, we've all destroyed that dono. Unique Homestyle Foods.
Just need a little short black with it, Rowey. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Just all you need.
I mean, like I said, we love BL Shipway. We'll bring a sheed shortly and start on Mondays, but you can't suck on a hydraulic pipe, can you?
Well, you can, but it doesn't taste good.
A pneumatic one, nor a hydraulic one. Fantastic. Unique Homestyle Foods. Geelong are the masters of management, I reckon, on and off the field. I look at someone like Paddy Dangerfield, who's north of 30. He started the season slowly. His numbers on the weekend were next level. Crows have got Geelong this week. We can't beat them on that skinny deck. You're the coach. What are we doing?
Well, I haven't had much success there.
No, I'm not asking you because you're no good either.
Well, there's not many that have, to be honest. I mean, their winning percentage down there is ridiculous.
You know, ridiculous.
But the thing for, it is a smaller ground. They do play it well. It's very
narrow.
It's easier to defend there, right?
Okay.
So if you don't attack and go quick at GMHBO start, you're in massive trouble. If you go slow, good luck, because you just can't get through because the ground's narrow. And the other thing too is if you go slow, then you play into Tom Stewart's hand. So if you would have called the game last year, had 40 possessions, 16 marks, and 17 were intercepts.
3 Brownlows.
So you sit there and go, how do you... And what you want to try and do as a coach is take away the opposition's strengths. That's what you're trying to do. And play
you
to your
can't knock
strength.
him out.
And you're sitting there... That's right. No. Well, you could be clumsy like Fogg did, and maybe you could do that. But essentially, you got to take some of those away. Now, they bat really deep, and their forward line is functioning as good as anyone in the competition. And... I had a bit of a look because obviously the game's coming up. The interesting one for me is, Stewart. So he's the 3rd in the AFL for rebound, and he was injured, remember, as well, with his knee earlier in the season. So those numbers are ridiculous. The other one for me is Dangerfield. Now, people can knock Paddy Dangerfield. What would you think his weakness in his game is?
Kicking? I think he's field kicking's a little
So I did a bit of research, and I was sitting there having a look at the numbers. This will stagger you.
Okay.
So Dangerfield, obvious. Number 3, centre-bounce, best centre-bounce player in the competition. We can see that. We can visualise that. At the moment, he's the number 1 player kicking retained inside 50 in the competition. In the competition, not for Geelong. So when he kicks the ball inside 50, they retain possession. Do you know who's number 2?
Dawson. So he's better than Dawson. I'm calling B rhymes with Eartha.
Okay. Yeah, numbers don't lie.
No, they don't. He's number 1.
He's number 1 in the competition.
Better than Dawson.
Correct.
And he had 15 inside 50s on the weekend.
And Jason Horne-Francis is 3. So you sit there and you go, as much as his chink in his armour is a little bit... I think he's very similar to Paddy the way he plays.
He is the next Paddy.
But he connects inside forward 50. And I've said all along, even in match committee, in list management... Pay the blokes that kick the ball inside 50 and connect.
Well, is that why I got dropped and I was never paid the big bucks?
No, you should put on the end of it, were you?
That stat is... Because you were talking about the management. They did this last year with Paddy and Selwood just in the middle of the year. They started to miss games and then also miss time. In that lot of your stats there. They only played him for 65% of the game.
Yeah, you can't get carried away with time on ground. It's influence.
Yes.
And that's why, even in Richmond's dynasty, they were the, they're not going so well now.
They've lost their last 5.
But in terms of their management of their players, because you start late when you're in a grand final, it becomes a marathon. So you really want your team peaking after the bye is when you need to start clicking into gear. And you've got to try and win games of footy. And I remember early in the year this year, everyone was off Geelong, too old, here we go again.
They lost 3 in a row, yeah.
But
they've been unbelievable.
Their numbers in the last 4 weeks are ridiculous. So they're starting to get going. And they've got a great blend of youth and experience. And that's what I like about Geelong.
We spoke about Richmond just briefly. Their 5-game losing streak. Dimmer, he wouldn't be in trouble. He's a 3-time.
He's contracted as well. It's just whether they won at the end of the year, perhaps...
Well, they've got some decisions to make around some of the... I don't think Dimmer's necessarily in trouble, but they probably need to look at some list management decisions. So does Jack Rowey go on? Like, he's old, but he's probably still contributing.
Do you move Martin on for a first?
Yeah, some of those things. Nan Curvis, what's he doing? Dion Prestig is injured a fair bit. Cotcham, what are you doing there? So they probably got some list management decisions.
And maybe a balance too, because Hawthorn probably got it wrong when they were at this stage.
And that's always the battle. It's always the battle. And that's the hardest thing about coaching, is this industry is probably the hardest industry to be involved in as a coach. And what I mean by that is you've got to coach for the now. Right? You've got to coach for now. You want wins, you want sponsors, you want premierships. You're going to coach for the now. But you also have to have an eye 2 or 3 years down the track around development and list management as well. That's very difficult when you're coaching, because you're sitting there going, we need to win, because we hear it all the time. It's a win-loss industry. We hear it. So coaches hear it. But getting that balance right of, and we hear, teams and list managers around, we want sustained success. Right, so that takes a fair bit of planning in terms of going, what do we need? How long is that player going to be around? What if we can get this person in? What's our salary cap doing? Like, that's a lot, whereas you go to the NFL, because there's no salary cap, they can tip them out during the year, they can trade them, they can get a needs whenever they feel like it. Like, it's a very difficult sport to coach and also have an eye on the now and the future.
It's a bit like sometimes like a politician. They're only worried about that next election, unfortunately.
Yeah. Correct.
So the short term becomes the focus.
Yeah, and it's dynamic. The industry is dynamic. It can change real quick, and you can be really good, and then you can be really bad.
You can attract talent, you can retain talent, and you've got to draft the talent. There's a massive, a massive little, what do you call that? Trying to find the word, Timmy. Everyone's
conundrum.
Well, it's not whatever. It's tough. Balance might be the right word. Camper, before you go, Tassie team, we've got a lot of people naming what they would or wouldn't be. Have you got one?
Oh, I'm probably a bit vanilla. I think it's probably the Tassie Devils would be I think that's quite appropriate for the state and what they bring and whatever. But I did ask a question off air. Don't know whether it's right or not. But so is it Tasmania? And the
mascot name?
I think it's the whole states behind it.
So not Hobart, a bit like Adelaide and Port Adelaide, or West Coast and Fremantle, or...
Yeah, I think that one of the issues, I think, and we've got Alistair Nicholson on, who is a local Tasmanian from there, I think there's been this big north and south sort of rivalry, if you like, because one got the cricket, one got the footy, then they both got footy, and so there's a real internal, what would you say, angst there.
So what if they do 2 licences then? What if they're good enough to support?
Do you think that's ever going to happen?
You never say never, right? We never thought that we'd have one in GWS either.
Yeah. So look, it's probably a population thing that protects it from that. Yeah, and I think you'd probably go with the Tassie Donuts and the and the Tassie Lamingtons over here, and you're all right. You could do that, but I reckon they've got to get that. What would you say? That engagement straight away. The basketball team, the NBL team, that got it straight away. They did really well. They went jack jumpers, which everybody was a bit surprised at, but it got traction straight away, and they performed.
Campo, well done. I'll see you Saturday for the Geelong game.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, great work.
Take the box with you, will you?
No, leave it. Tugger's looking a bit thin over there.
Dangerous. Unique home-style foods, proudly baking for hundreds of SA people, businesses large and small. And this is what I'm most impressed with. It's quality, but 35 years. You can't fluke that. They must be great hustlers in the baking industry. Visit uniquehomestylefoods.com.au. Bring us Scotty Camperreale.
Every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Time for the headlines. Kevin Sheedy next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
David Bruce with the latest news headlines. The government says next week's budget will be careful not to make inflation worse, while also providing cost of living relief. The Reserve Bank has lifted the official cash rate for the 11th time in just 12 months. It's gone up today from 3.6 to 3.85%. Cigarette taxes will increase 15% over the next 3 years in a bid to reduce smoking rates. And it's a big night for Adelaide United with their Best and Fairest awards being announced. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Got a crash to look out for at Para Hills on the drive home, Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Modbury crash there too, North East Road near T3 Plaza. And we've got very heavy traffic up Glenelg. That's due to flooding Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. Avoid it if you can. Really busy Marion Road at North Plympton, also Morford Road at the tram line. And we've got cameras to look out for too, Gorge Road, Athelston and George Streets at Norwood. Hungry? Head to a Porto and get the value-packed Bondi Burger box for just $16.95 or grab 5 delicious crispy chicken strips for just $5 for a limited time at a Porto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
More autumn weather on the way, down to 13 overnight. Tomorrow, a morning shower or two, a top of just 18 degrees. Currently 16. More news at 6, and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast. Breaking news from Qantas. The replacement for Alan Joyce has been announced. Vanessa Hudson will take over the role and become the first female CEO of Qantas.
Informing Adelaide.
So massive announcement, effective November this year.
Well, there goes my cockamamie Gil McLaughlin theory.
It was a good theory.
Yesterday. Yeah.
It was a good. You were joining the Richard Goyder dots and the...
Didn't realise that the deal had already been done.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Embark on a journey of unrivaled excellence with Viking Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Whether it's cruising the rivers of Europe, Egypt or Southeast Asia, Viking offers travellers a wealth of cultural enrichment, culinary explorations and local delights in unparalleled style and comfort. Viking's 2024 and 2025 river voyages are on sale now, with savings up to $6,600 per couple. T's and C's apply. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au.
Are you running a small business, or is your business running you? If you spend hours every day climbing mountains of admin, then you need Thrive, the all-in-one management software built for small business. Search Thrive, THRYV today.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to not deal with organising all the trades? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? 2, the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. Plus, we can manage the installation and all sub-trades at a fixed price. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
Oh, unique home-style foods. Campo's just left and he's taken the donuts, and Timmy just had tears running out his face. Did you have one, Sam?
Yeah, I'll put a request in for next
brilliant.
week.
God, how good are they? Hey, TJM are the major sponsor of tonight's fishing show. That's from 6:30 with Ned McHenry. Had 30, kicked 3, put him in.
What a great game.
Oh, he's the best fisherman in this state.
Love him.
What a talent.
Stuff.
TJM know talent when they see it.
Yeah. Well, that's
So I
true.
like this kid.
Yeah,
TJM.
He's got a great eye.
One of the best ways to see SA is through the dusty windscreen of a four-wheel drive, but you want to get there, you want to be TJM equipped. Safe to say, SA has hit the roads more than ever in the past couple of years, and once you get a taste of it, it is addictive.
Oh, they love it.
Well, look at our state.
My neighbours just did it.
Yeah.
They've just left.
Yeah.
They've gone. They're got one of those annex things that go up on the roof and all that. Brilliant. And TJM sorted them out.
Now, the family behind TJM SA has been behind the wheel for 10 years now, since purchasing the business in 2012, but TJM has been keeping SA's wheels turning off-road since 1990. TJM, they're celebrating 50 years this year, so congratulations to Italo on his 10, but the 50. He is a family friend of ours here at 5AA.
He is.
always supports, including Nettie with his fishing show at 6:30. So well done, Hitalo. They've got their big store coming up, the big opening. Stay tuned.
The revamped Nailsworth.
Yes, Cornsey and KG are going to do their show there. We'll probably drop in. It'll have specials. We'll give you the dates for that. It's coming up. Safety and comfort are always the priority. They've got bull bars, suspension, snorkels, camping gear, roof racks, driving lights. There isn't an amp up that hasn't gone through there. I bought my swags from there.
Yeah,
they've got everything. They're swags.
Which you need those when you go.
You know what? I could hook up my TJM, head to Coffin Bay with a swag. Don't take Jody, the kids. I'd love to take my grandchild, but he's a bit small. And just adios amigos. You wouldn't see me.
Yeah.
Catch King George Whiting.
The
Bugger
swag
the
man.
show. Bugger everything.
The
I'd
swag
just live in
man.
a swag.
Roll
Get the
with the swag
TJM. Nailsworth and Clavelli Park. Get TJM equipped.
Whether a hobby or a full-blown dairy and livestock farm, they all have one thing in common: the need for good quality steel to keep livestock safe and secure. At Norm Metals, we have just that. From rural fencing and gates to droppers, loading ramps and more, you'll find what you need for your farm. And if we don't, we'll source it for you quickly and at the best price. No matter what kind of farm you have, we'll help you out. At Norm Metals, 255 Grand Junction Road, Ottawa.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 6. Coming up, Tanya Obbs from the Thunderbirds very soon, and Alistair Nicholson, a very proud Tasmanian. And I've just noticed the AFL have dropped a media release to my inbox.
Oh, hello.
It's a 5-word comment from Gil McLachlan. It says the AFL Chief Executive Gil McLachlan has tonight provided an update following a meeting today of all 18 club presidents, and this afternoon a meeting of the AFL Commission. In quotes, "See you in Tassie tomorrow." End
It's
quote.
happening.
That is
That
it.
is just superb.
Don't you love that?
I'm excited for that stuff.
I am too, because they're
long overdue.
They've produced some great names of football, including Kazali, as we mentioned earlier, and you go
Hudson.
It's been probably a long time overdue for
Rewalk times 2.
Yep.
Daryl Baldock.
Matthew Richardson.
You have a look at their best ever team.
Oh, it's a very good team. Yeah.
Hey, here's just before we go to
Ian
Sheeds.
Callanan.
Ian Callanan. Wingnut. Foodland live text. I got a mate who ate 20 cinnamon donuts. He wants to take Rowey on. Now, what would you not want to take Tim on? Tim wolfed his down.
He did.
Oh, barely.
No, he did.
Didn't touch the sides.
Oh,
There's
hang
the
on.
evidence.
still got it.
There's the evidence, all right?
Yeah, but
yes, it's
Tim,
a bit moth-eaten, but, you know,
Tim,
it's still there.
Sheeds is waiting. That's your third.
Okay.
Well, thanks to BL Shipway, let's get to Sheeds.
Kevin Sheedy.
Don't ever let any club or player dominate you.
Yeah, Kevin Sheedy, our favourite, brought to us by BL Shipway for all your hydraulic and pneumatic needs. 217 Richmond Road, Richmond. Sheeds.
Hello.
How the hell are you, buddy?
Very, very good. Going well.
Did you hear we had a festival round over here?
Mate, you've kicked butt all the way to the bank as well as the crowds. And, I hope the South Australians loved it, and it's great to see that you got for a few more years. You deserve. People who take a risk should get rewarded sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's start with Tassie. As of tomorrow, it'll be official. How good is that?
Well, it's good and it's difficult, I think. But if the investment's there, then you're going to really have to be careful in the planning of it, because after going up to the Giants and seeing how we did that, and we did fairly well out of that. The team really got the 2 grand finals in the first 7 years, which is a good effort. I think that two things, I think membership shall be sold straight away. First, invest rest. And if it takes 4 years to get the team up and running, then that investment money means that you get the best seats in the stadium and the money goes to the club to get a bankroll. That's one way I would look at it. That's one way I would look at it. And the other thing is, I'll start developing the kids now at grades 7, 8, 9 in secondary schools all over Tasmania.
Yep.
I'd appoint coaches everywhere. I know there's a cost there. I understand that. And that might be a part of the funding that you might do by creating memberships now. But to me, you've got to get it done, because we don't have enough people in the country when you have the 2 northern states normally roll out with more rugby league players. So I would seriously look at probably helping the new CEO and the new development people, whoever gets involved. I started my career in football as a development officer at Richmond back in 1972-3. With guys like Kevin Sheen and Kevin Egan and Gubby Allen and all those sorts of boys, Andrew Ireland. So we all started, and you got to go and look to talk to experienced people to help these Tasmanian coaches.
Hey, Sheeds, just what else maybe could you take from your GWS experience and help the Tasmania launch?
Well, you would talk to the AFL, obviously, and the state, the Premier and the people over there. That you need to have a good sort of think tank session. You need to probably talk to Alistair Clarkson, obviously, because I think he may have been on a contract to help sort of work out what way was the best way to get a team over there. You need to get everybody in Tasmania on board. They seem pretty well on board when, you've got Boone vice captain and you've got the captain up out of the Marlborough Cricket Club. So they've already produced a captain and a vice captain of Australian cricket. But there was never problems, But in footy, it's a little bit different, But I think in the end, it's definitely the injection that Tasmania needed from an overall, I think probably even self-esteem. I feel like them joining into an AFL Australian competition will give an enormous lift to 500,000 people.
Yeah, true. What would you do the draft differently than perhaps what they did with Gold Coast and GWS?
Let's face it, the great thing about our game is we have about 800 players on list. No other sport in Australia has 800 players under contract. And the development programs that we have are probably the best, I think, I've seen around for a long time. And just remember, when you're comparing against other countries, I've been over to soccer at Manchester United. They've got every age has a soccer ground at Manchester United. Every age. So they have a 10-year-old. They have their own soccer ground and coaches. Or in the 200 acres, whatever the property was. And I'm sitting there with Turgis, and I'm going, wow, you guys are right into this. Now, America, totally different. They have a university structure between pros and high school. So it's totally different again. So the way we look at it, the way you got to look at it is obviously get a lot of good people to sit down and have a look at how we can get it right. Not really waste the opportunity and the money.
Yeah, I agree, because I look back at GWS. You went and got Izzy Folau. Son's got Carmichael Hunt. Paid outside the salary cap, and they got to do all this to promote the game up there in the NRL-led state. I think if Tasmania do the development, so if it's 2027, I'm just spitballing here, and you can spitball with me, Sheets, that means roll back. If you're in year 8 now, you'll be the first-year draftee for that Tassie team. And I think the more locals they have in the team, the more likely them to succeed and the more likely that they'll get support. So they should get carte blanche for every local kid for the next 10 years.
So you're saying no one's allowed to pick a player out of Tasmania?
No one can pick a player out of Tassie for 10 years.
Exclusive.
Well, you put that up and people go, yay, no, we don't like
there you
it.
Go.
Right. So Victorian clubs will complain straight away. Like,
of course they will. Of course they will.
Mate, I'll live here. I know it's right.
Yeah, well, you will, because you're out at Essendon. Hey, just on Essendon, Brad Scott, what do you reckon? You look a lot more organised this year, Sheeds.
He's coached very well. We're very happy the way we're performing. I think we played maybe, I don't know, if we sat there as a group watching the Bombers play, I think the fans would say we probably played 4 bad quarters out of the games so far, which had 2 of them. 4 or 5 goals against St Kilda the first quarter, and 4 or 5 goals obviously against last week. We were well ahead of Collingwood and got run over because our legs were just not powerful and strong enough. But Brad had said we just ran out of gas, and he was right. So I think we're in a better position, developing and growing as a unit, working together pretty well.
Oh, well done. Now, if I read correctly, Sheeds, you're on the board and Brad Scott's name come up. You weren't a fan of getting him, were you? Right from the start?
No, that's not correct.
Oh, okay. Well, correct me.
No, Brad Scott was a more experienced coach than Hurd. All I said was I voted Hurd. Okay. It doesn't mean I don't like Brad Scott.
Okay, fair call. Yeah, well, you put me straight. Yeah. Done.
I mean, and what you wouldn't know is that the board had already voted 5 or 6 anyway, so I thought all of us will vote Hurd.
Yeah, fair call, Sheets. We'll move on. Andrew Dillon, what do you think? You a fan? You had a clash with him. Is he going to be a good follower?
I think he's a very good.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, no, he's the one guy in the AFL you'll trust.
Oh, gee, that's a big call. He's the one guy in the AFL you can trust.
Well, there will be more, but if this guy, and I haven't read all his records and all that sort of, but I think he's been here over 20 years.
23 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's trust, isn't it?
Not a job for the boys, mates rates, college time?
Oh, well, I was going to tell you now, Andrew Dillon and Gil McLaughlin will be totally different people.
Okay, hope so. Who are you nominating?
Well, you guys, hold on, you guys have been in charge for how long?
Who? What?
South Australian. Gil come from South Australia.
Don't call Gil a South Australian. He clipped us. He clipped us years ago, Sheeds. He moved on to greener pastures. He got seduced by you Victorians. He ain't no South Australian.
Just because border towns on your side of the get over it, will you?
No, fair call. No, I love
care
Gil.
where anybody comes.
No,
I was very happy with Lucendale and Steve Copping, and I was very happy with David Brendall from Bordertown and Wangaleen. I don't care.
I know. Hey, who are you nominating for the GM of footy at the AFL? Well, you got Brad Scott. There's a position vacant. It has been for over a year.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy Bartell, Sheeds. I like the cut of his jib.
It's another Geelong person at the AFL, is what you're saying.
Okay. So too many tip the AFL over, do they?
I'm just saying.
I think that's what you're saying, Sheeds.
I just want to let you know that we just get a little bit of flair back into the place. Somebody, I mean, we were very lucky to get Craig Bozzo to Western and South Australian.
No, Craig well.
Yeah. 10 years over at
big fan of ours.
He's done some big things, you know what I mean? So it's all about experience and knowledge and a variety of it. That's I think it's one of the good things that Bozzo is bringing to us.
Sheets, we recently held Gather Round and made that a success. The MCG has to go underneath a big reconstruction. There's some talk that perhaps it'll lose over 50% of its capacity during this rebuild for the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Do you think we could perhaps host the grand final here?
Oh, here we go.
Anything can happen.
Oh, I like it. So if it was half down, you'd be happy for it to come to Adelaide?
I'll be happy to go to another city. It doesn't worry me. You guys can fight with Sydney and Perth and all that. Doesn't worry me.
We will.
Yeah, and that's the way it's got to be competitive.
Mm.
We never, ever, when Dreamtime sort of went to Perth, that the Premier wouldn't let the Victorians in, that game sold out. Like, it's a home and away game. Dreamtime sells out in 17 hours.
Yeah. That's
60,000.
Awesome.
So it can happen when the gates open.
Yeah, well done, Sheeds. Lovely to catch up with you again with BL Shipway. What are you out in the garden today? Are you pruning?
I have just come in from the garden. I'm preparing for my launch into Adelaide this week, where the mighty Bombers are arriving to play Port Adelaide.
Yes, they are.
Yes. Sheeds, well done as always. Love your work. Go you mighty Bombers.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
I didn't mean that last bit. Well done, Sheeds. Fantastic. BL Shipway for all your hydraulic and pneumatic needs. 217 Richmond Road, Richmond. Bring us Kevin Sheedy.
Excellent work. Love getting Sheeds on the show. It is 12 minutes to 6. Let's check your traffic.
At Para Hills, look out for a crash. Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Modbury got a crash there. North East Road near Tea Plaza. And at Glenelg got some heavy flooding, which is causing delays. Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. Avoid it if you can. Busy right now. Marion Road at North Plimpton. And we've got cameras for the drive home today. George Street, Norwood, and Greenhill Road at Burnside. Celebrating a special occasion, head to Moonpig for a wide selection of funny, heartwarming and personalised cards. Download the app or visit moonpig.com/au and spread the joy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Catch the 5AA Fishing Show, presented by Ned McHenry. Now Tuesday nights from 6:30, thanks to TJM. Four-wheel driving? If you want to get there, you want to be TJM equipped. Nailsworth and Clovelly Park.
Whether you're a Sparky, a Chippy, a Fiery or a Bikie. Whether they call you Curly, Tubby or Tiny. Whether next door means a few feet or a few miles. We know the weather's harsh in South Australia. But Olympic Industries carports, verandas and sheds are tougher than most. And if they're strong enough in the country, they'll be strong enough in the city. Some say strong as an ox, others say hard as nails. We just say built to last. Olympic Industries.
4.
Ah, you've sliced it.
Oh,
and you've hit a windscreen.
That's my car.
Mate, again.
Yeah, another hole in one.
With RAA Comprehensive Car Insurance, you're covered for unlimited windscreen repairs or replacement with no excess, so you can keep on moving on. T's and C's exclusions and limitations apply. Consider the PDS and TMD. Product issued by RAA Insurance, available from RAA.
Too many bottles, cans and containers aren't being recycled properly, ending up in the yellow bin or landfill. Direct Collect is solving this for good. Sign up to Direct Collect today and they'll deliver one of their blue bins to you. Once you've filled it with bottles, cans and containers, all you have to do is book a collection and Direct Collect takes care of the rest. Your refund will be deposited to your bank account, or you can choose to donate it to a participating charity or club. Search Direct Collect online.
Solarheart has been helping smart Aussies turn sunshine into hot water for 70 years. From our reliable rooftop models to sleek split systems and smart tanks that talk to your solar panels. No one knows more about solar hot water than Solarheart. And right now, you'll get a $500 trade-in when you upgrade to one of Solarheart's energy-saving water heaters. So if you want to lower your energy bills and your emissions, get smart. Get Solarheart. Terms and conditions apply.
G'day, it's Merv Hughes here. After years of snoring like a train, the missus sent me for a CPAP Direct sleep test. I'm sleeping quiet and waking up refreshed.
Did you know 50% of males over 40 could have sleep apnea? Maybe you're one of them. Do an online sleep check at cpap.com.au. It's the first step to getting your mojo back.
Find your local store at cpap.com.au.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond to take a test drive of the car that everyone is raving about, the FIVEAA Motor 5. Oh, these seats are so comfortable, and the state-of-the-art tech is worthy of a car 3 times its price. And almost every function of the vehicle can be controlled by voice. Check this out. Cherry, turn on the seat heating.
Sure, I'll turn on seat heating for all areas.
Book yourself a test drive of this incredible Motor 5 from 33k drive away. Visit gocherry.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 6, going to talk Tassie AFL. The 19th team looks like it's set to be announced tomorrow. Alistair Nicholson will join us after 6 o'clock.
A lot of these coming through, and we'll have a big Tassie day tomorrow.
Oh,
I think they deserve that, because it's going to get rubber stamped. Foodland Live text. Was Tim Evans Tasmanian?
Yes,
yes, he was.
He was.
We had some good ones at Woodville. Stephen Nichols.
What a player.
Yeah.
Beautiful
John
kick
Klug.
for goal.
Try and get him for Where Are They Now, Steve Nichols. Johnny Klug, I played with Klug.
How good was his hands?
Well, he could handball the ball 35 metres.
Beautiful,
and he
wasn't
could hold 2 dozen eggs.
Those
Fresh
hands,
eggs in his
massive,
hands.
weren't
2
they?
dozen.
Yeah.
2 dozen. They were like flippers. Michael Templeton, there's
Yep.
another one.
Remember
Macca
number
coach
16?
down there.
Macca coach down
Wayne
there.
Wiedemann
Wayne
coached
Wiedemann
them.
coach down there. So I'll tell you what, there's some talent going through there. It'll be interesting to get
Tassie's
their
Day.
view on it.
Tassie's Day. Now, Tassie team, what's the name? Let's go to Murray Bridge. Big Andy.
G'day, how are you guys?
Hey, Andy.
Very well, thank you. Keeping well yourself by the sound of it.
Good man.
We didn't ask you how you were, Andy.
We assume that he's well.
I'm just, that's all right. It's okay. I'm just psychic, that's all. Okay.
You're gifted, Andy. Come on, Tassie name.
Tassie name, Van Diemen's.
The Van Diemen's.
Van Diemen Land.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how, Van
Might
Diemen.
just cross across Melbourne. Demons, Melbourne Demons.
Demon,
Yeah.
Van Diemen.
The
Thanks,
Tassie
Andy.
Vans. The
Good
Tassie
work.
Vans.
Big Larry.
Hey, young guys.
Hey, Larry.
It's got to be, and it will be, the Tasmanian Devils.
Yeah, I think it will.
It's the whole of Tasmania, and the most famous animal was the devil. You know the
Tassie Devil.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And
Let's hope
are
Warner
they
Brothers
still
let
around?
that through.
Are they still
They're,
around?
they're okay. They have a bit of a problem with a disease that gets them now and again.
they
Yeah.
do too.
So hopefully, but they're still there, but the numbers are down.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So.
And they can eat. They can bite through a coconut or something.
Oh, they've got
can't they?
strong
Have they got
jaws.
strong jaws.
Very strong. So.
Oh, God. Have they got rabies? Is that what they got?
No,
Fleas?
it's not that. No, I can't remember what it is. But it's a nasty. Ends up really nasty sore around their mouths and
yuck.
things. So,
Hello, Rod.
G'day, mate.
They got the Tassie Devils got cold sores. That's a little bit on
Tassie
there.
Devils have got a sort of like a cancerous thing that grows around their mouth.
Oh,
Thanks,
that's
Rod.
sad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rod.
And I don't know about the name, the Devils, because they are really, really ugly, them fellas.
Yeah, yeah.
My name for the Tassies are the Tassie Whalers.
The Whalers.
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 Whalers. Because a
Probably
lot of
be a
whales
few
go
up, yeah,
past. Yeah.
in the Bass Strait.
A couple of bluefin tuna. Some sharks, Rod.
They made their identity as sealers and whalers back in
they
the
did too.
1800s. Yeah,
Out of Freixenet. You were dead set right, Rod.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
the fishing there.
Rod's gone right back to history. That's
Do you know the big red snapper there as well?
okay.
I bet you they're still allowed to catch
Well, there was
their
a few
snapper.
Tassie marlins suggested, Tassie scorpions. I don't know if there's any scorpions down there, but the Tasmanian oaks.
Okay.
Lots of that happening.
The timberjacks.
The loggers.
Well, Nettie's on at 6:30. He'd know all the fishing areas down that way.
True, he would. Tassie Rangers was another one.
The old Rangers. Okay, let's do our Western Hospital. Provide the type of quality care you deserve. Visit westernhospital.com.au. I'll do the Crows one first. You happy, Tim?
Yeah, well,
I'll
it won't
first.
go long, so...
Okay. Hugh Bond is still out with his knee, the young fella, in his first year, 4 to 5 weeks. Shane McAdam, that quad's a little nasty.
Actually, I saw that vision of that because I was working on the sample on the weekend, and they showed it. Looks like a nasty quad.
It is
tear,
4
I
to
reckon.
6 for Shaney McAdam. This is one I'm a little disappointed in because I reckon he would have played a game of AFL this year. Could have maybe jumped over the Schomburgs, the Berries and all of that. Young Zach
Taylor, no.
12 weeks.
Big rap for him.
12
What's he done?
weeks. Foot.
Liz Frank.
Oh, no. That's not good at all.
Liz Frank. Who is that?
What did you say? Liz Frank.
Liz Frank fracture.
Just
It's
Liz
when you-
Frank?
Liz Frank. It's when
Liz.
it's in your
One of your
bones in your
bones.
foot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a good one to break, Tim. It
Obviously.
has a very poor blood supply.
Oh, yeah. Nasty. Oh, that's not good at all for
Well,
young
thanks to
Zach.
Western Hospital, so that's very sad. Only 3 on the injury list. What about Port? Have we got it out and go through yours?
Yep. Well, Xavier Dersma, we've just found out his PCL going to take
damn
between
it.
8 and 10. Of course,
Okay.
Mitch Georgiades out for the season. Saw a photo of him with the thumbs up in hospital in Perth.
Oh, good on him.
Kane Farrell, cheekbones, so still 1 to 2 there. Orazio Fantasia keeps saying 3 to 4 with a quad. That's been 3 to 4 weeks that they've said 3 to 4.
See you pre-season.
I hope that's coming
I
good.
hope that's wrong.
And Todd Marshall,
be
he will
back.
be 100% okay for
They're
the
five-
games. That's a good welcome back.
That's 5 of your first choice players. They're all in your
It
best
is.
22.
It is. That's a very
so
good
Tom
list.
Marshall's back.
Unfortunately. So one of those will come back. So
Okay.
4 still out.
And you think Charlie will play?
Charlie will play, absolutely. I think...
On one leg?
I think they almost... it was almost as if because of the situation, Charlie, we need you to play. You might have had one more off otherwise, I reckon. But anyway, that's all thanks to Western Hospital. You know, you've got no private health insurance. Don't worry about it. You need a procedure, just go to Western Hospital and they can provide you with a competitive quote.
3 minutes to 6. Gil McLaughlin has said see you in Tassie tomorrow, so we're going to speak to Alistair Nicholson about that after the 6 o'clock news.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Come along and feel the warmth of an FIVEAA retirement community and discover a special sense of belonging many residents say you'll feel right away. Share your passions and interests with like-minded people. Discover new friendships and live life to the fullest, all in the safety and comfort of a place that's more than just your home. It's your community. With 15 retirement communities across Adelaide, there's sure to be one you're warm to. Search FIVEAA First Step to book your discovery tour today.
IGA's Price Match Promise. We checked, we matched, you won't pay more. Every week we check and match the regular price of the big 2 supermarkets on hundreds of everyday products. Just look out for the Price Match tickets in store. Participating stores only. See website for full terms.
G'day, Tom Wren here. Greyhounds love to run, and Greyhound fans love Thursday nights at Angle Park. For top greyhound racing, a great family atmosphere and the amazing food, Chase's Restaurant is offering a full a la carte menu to ensure you have a fantastic night out. Chips, wedges, through to classics like burgers, fish and chips, schnitties and steaks. Yum! Grab the whole family and get to the park to watch those dogs go. Every Thursday night at Angle Park Greyhounds.
Hi, I'm Steve Wormald from Walco Liners and Covers out of Paraka. We're a manufacturing business. So far as advertising, we've done a few things. Print, magazines, a couple of spots on TV, but we'd never done radio. Contacted 5AA and were teed up with James Wellham and thought we'd give it a go. Very much James's pitch was that quite distinct from a radio show with music. A talk show, advertising that comes in on Chat Show will be more like a testimonial. So that was quite attractive to me, to give that a go and actually be personally endorsed, I suppose, by the talk show. 5AA is the only one in town. We gave it a go. That was 2016.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
No, it's a pleasure. So look around at your leisure.
Experience caravanning the way it was meant to be. Island Star simply do it better. New or used, go to the people you can trust, Knowles Island Star Caravans. With Knowles, you're protected by a nationwide guarantee and better after-sales service. Knowles Island Star simply do caravanning better.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
Every small business is on a journey, but some are on an obstacle course, jumping from invoicing to marketing to social media. That's why you need Thrive, the all-in-one management software built for small business. Search Thrive, THRYV today.
Cold mornings. A nice hot shower. If your hot water stops, give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers, your local plumbers since 1983. Hot water replacement? Give Ken a call. 8364 5855.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
A shower or two tomorrow morning, a top of 18 degrees after an overnight low of 13. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm David Bruce.
It's nearly tax time. Act now for immediate delivery on Mitsubishi Triton from Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
It'll soon cost $50 for a regular packet of cigarettes, with tobacco taxes to be raised by 5% a year. Federal political editor Michael Packey has the details.
The government has announced a range of measures to reduce smoking rates. From September, the tobacco excise will increase by 5% a year, adding just over $3 billion to budget coffers by 2026. Federal Health Minister Mark Butler is hoping the hike will deter more people from smoking.
Higher price cigarette is a more unattractive cigarette.
Mr Butler is also working with states and territories to ban the sale of recreational vapes from retail outlets. But Victoria Premier Daniel Andrews says the states should not be forced to wear all the cost of such a move.
It's an important reform, but let's wait and see the details.
People will still be able to use nicotine vapes for therapeutic purposes, but only if they have a doctor's prescription.
The federal opposition says the latest interest rate rise is a wake-up call for the government. The Reserve Bank has handed down a surprise 0.25% increase, taking the cash rate to 3.85%. It's the 11th hike over the past year as the Reserve Bank struggles to get inflation under control. Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor says Labor should do more to tackle the problem.
The Reserve Bank paused its increases last month, and that gave an opportunity to the government to demonstrate its inflation-fighting credentials, and it has failed.
The state government has announced that the former Franklin Street bus station site will be developed to create 2 towers containing 392 apartments. Housing and Urban Development Minister Nick Champion says many of the units will be set aside for those on low incomes.
We need affordable rental and affordable sale options in the city so that the working class people, the essential workers of our city, you know, all of the hospitality and retail workers, the people who keep the city moving, we want housing options for them so they don't have long commutes.
A horse has been euthanised after falling in the feature race on the opening day of the Warrnambool Jumps Carnival. St Arnica lost its footing on the second last jump in the Brearley steeplechase. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Collect the newest 2023 AFL footy cards, available at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade.
Tasmania will be announced as the AFL's 19th side tomorrow. Club presidents today unanimously agreed to the formation of the franchise. Brisbane's Josh Dunkley admits being without injured stalwarts Dane Zorko and Daniel Rich for Friday night's clash against Carlton will be challenging.
It's a hard one with those two going out. Obviously both very senior players in the group and help us on both sides of the ball, and you know, Richie obviously plays down back and Zorks plays up the field a little bit more, but their creativeness to be able to set us up moving forward has been really good, but it is promising too, I think, the way the VFL's played this year, and we've got guys that are willing to step up.
And West Coast has joined Collingwood in vocalising the club's support for an Indigenous voice to Parliament. Now 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Para Hills, got a crash, Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. At Modbury, residual delays following a crash, North East Road near Tea Tree Plaza. And Glenelg got flooding, Brighton Road near Diagonal Road. Heavy delays on both those roads. Avoid them if you can. Busy as we speak, Anzac Highway at Morford Road with cameras George Street, Norwood and East Avenue, Clarence Park. Time to layer up at Totally Workwear with the best range of quality hoodies, jackets, work boots, pants, shirts and women's wear to keep you protected. Shop Totally Workwear online or in store. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A morning shower or two tomorrow, a top of 18 degrees after an overnight low of 13. Thursday, a shower or two, 18 again, and then showers increasing on Friday up to 19. Currently, it's 16 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Tonight, the biggest smoking reform in a decade. Disposable vapes used by thousands of Australians set to be banned. Interest rates hiked again, the painful rise the experts didn't predict. Did roadworks crossing confusion cost a woman her life in the heart of the city? Plus, meet the new female boss of Qantas. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News happening now.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
6 minutes after 6 on your Tuesday night. Tanya Obst from the Adelaide Thunderbirds, the coach, to join us shortly, and Nettie McHenry's fishing show after 6:30. But our next guest is all thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your pals.
No doubt about that. I'll tell you what, it's exciting. Tasmania on the brink of being announced as the 19th team in the AFL. One of the guys that's been pushing the barra for some time now as an advocate is Seven commentator Alistair Nicholson. G'day, Alistair.
G'day, great to be with you, lads.
Hey, you were over here for Gather Round, weren't you, I believe?
Yeah, I had a fantastic time, and I have to admit that there were little moments walking around the Adelaide Oval and around the river there where I thought to myself, I wonder what this would be like in Hobart with a new stadium at Macquarie Point and people being able to flock into Salamanca and the city after football games. And gave me a little taste. I was thinking a few of the naysayers in Hobart might like to go to Gather Round next time and get a feel for how brilliant it can be done, because it was just a wonderful experience.
Well, maybe that's your next little business idea, is a tour of all those people coming over to Gather Round to get the idea. Because pretty much that was what Andrew Dillon, the new CEO, told us last night. I asked, what about the north and the south? Because Launceston, Hobart, you got two grounds that you already play AFL on. Couldn't you just upgrade those two? And he said, no, it's more about exactly what you just said, the centre of the football universe, if you like. For Adelaide, it's our Adelaide Oval. For Perth, it's Optus. And he said he wants that in Tassie.
Yeah, and I get that. It's been such a transformational thing, hasn't it, the redevelopment of the Adelaide Oval. I think even if you talk to John Olsen back in the day, he was opposed to the idea of it, and everyone loves it now, and it has become such almost a heartbeat of Adelaide in a way, hasn't it? I think Macquarie Point can do the same in Hobart. Yes, Bellreeve Oval on the eastern shore, and also York Park in Launceston. They're good football venues, but this gives Tassie the capacity to have a world-class venue that people really want to go to, the players want to play in. So the AFL, I understand why they push the barrow so hard on this. I also understand the other side of the argument, lads, which is it's always unpalatable to some people to spend large amounts of money on sporting infrastructure. That's going to be the case wherever you go. But I think this is ultimately a good outcome for Tassie, and in time I think most people will come to realise that.
You confident the entire Apple Isle will get in behind it? The Launceston mob, and you know they're a bit fickle up there towards Pelican. Not Pelican, Penguin. Near Penguin, where you're from.
Well, Alistair, yeah, he's not. That's northwest, isn't it?
You Penguiners.
Northwest coast, yeah. So I've lived in Hobart. I grew up on the northwest coast, Rowey, and I'll tell you what. When I was a kid and the Northwest Football Union played the north or they played the south, did we hate them? Absolutely, we hated them. But when the Tassie team pulled on the map and all of the players from Tasmania represented the state and represented you against Victoria in 1960 when they won, or 58 when they beat South Australia and Western Australia, the whole state was completely behind the Tasmanian team, and I'm sure that'll be the case here. And I think a lot of that old north-south rivalry is dead, really. It used to exist, but now you can go to a pub in Hobart and find Bogues on tap there, so that always kept me happy, Rowey.
Yeah. Gil McLaughlin had 5 words, see in Tasmania. He's there tomorrow for the announcement. Will he announce any further funding? What are we expecting tomorrow? We know the federal government's kicked in. It's going to be state-owned. Anything you can share with us, Alistair?
I think the funding of the actual team they'd reached an agreement on previously, at least a handshake agreement, Rowey, that the AFL was going to contribute $360 million for the team and for football development down there. They're only chipping in $15 million for the stadium, $240 from the feds, and then $375 million from the Tasmanian government. Plus, I think it's $85 million in private investment. There'll be some housing and other retail opportunities attached to the new stadium. So it's the start date that interests me. I think it's most likely to be 2028 that the Tasmanian team will come in. They had hoped to get a team in by 2027, but I think they feel like that's just a little too narrow a time frame. So 2028 is the most likely, I think, he'll announce tomorrow.
Built, you have variations. Let's hope there's not too many on them. And will it have a roof? Will you have a roof?
I don't think it will, Rowey. And to be honest, I never really understood why it needed to have a roof. Sydney might need a roof at the SCG, and then we can see some more cricket there on an annual basis.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sit there watching the rain all the time. But Adelaide's the driest capital in Australia. Guess what comes in second? Hobart. So it always amazed me, that need for a roof. It seems to be going above and beyond. Tassie's going to have a beautiful little boutique, 23,000-seat stadium. We don't need a marble stadium on the waterfront in Hobart to justify our existence and to justify the stake for Tassie to have a team in the AFL. So if there was an abundance of money and you could throw whatever you wanted at something, of course a roof would be lovely, but that's maybe $300 million more. I think it might be something they'll have to do with
Alistair, don't go in half-cocked, mate. It's on the waterfront. It's bloody freezing. You need a roof.
There won't be a roof.
Oh, God.
Hardy types like you, Rowey, will be just fine down there. You'll enjoy it. But
we built
the history of Tassie.
We built a one-way freeway down south. Guess what we had to do 15 years later? Build it back the other way. You need a roof, Alistair.
Maybe we can just build one that has the capacity to have a roof added at some point. Or
good.
Maybe a tarp or something a little cheaper in the first instance.
We spoke to Kevin Sheedy earlier in the show, Alistair, and one of the things he was talking about was, one, quickly get into corporates and the like and membership and get that happening so there's an income already while there's time going by to get the team in. And the other thing was actually getting right to the grassroots now, because a kid that's in year 8 will be draftable for that 28th season. So it's about getting resources down there, getting everybody playing, getting the best coaching so that you can actually pick from the homegrown Tasmanians.
He is absolutely spot on. He's hit the nail on the head there without question, because the numbers coming out of Tasmania in terms of draftees have dropped away alarmingly in the last decade or so. Tassie used to get a lot of players drafted, and champions of the game were routinely coming out of Tasmania. That's probably not the case to the same extent now. So I think this will do wonders for junior footy in Tassie to get it going again. The Jack Jumpers have been a huge success in the NBL. That's a team that all Tasmanians identify with. It's distinctly their own. So you see kids going off to school with basketballs and Jack Jumpers singlets on these days, as opposed to what we did when we were kids, which was take the footy in winter, take the cricket bat in summer. So I hope we get some of that back, and I think these kids, when they can see these AFL players in their backyard, coming to their school for visits, day in, day out, being able to identify and connect with them and seeing that there's a pathway, it'll be something that they'll aspire to be part of as supporters and potential players in the future. So I think it'll have huge ramifications for footy in a heartland state. Tassie was there from the start. You look at the North Hobart Football Club. It was founded not long after Port Adelaide, Tim, and it has such a rich history in the game, Tasmania, and it pleases me so much that that history is going to be acknowledged and Tassie will get its rightful place in the national competition.
Can you give us an idea of the impact that the NBL team, the Jack Jumpers, has had?
Huge, and I don't think it can be underestimated the impact it had in the walls of AFL House as well. To see what could be achieved in Tasmania and to see what could happen to football. I always thought that the greatest thing that held Tasmanian footy back when it came to an AFL licence was the fact that we were already rusted on fans of the game.
Yep.
And the AFL wanted to grow the competition and take it to expansion markets like GWS and like Gold Coast as they did. I understood the business case for that, but Tasmania was the footy heartland that they felt that they had and perhaps didn't need to nurture in the same way, and now they've realised that it does require investment. If there are threats like basketball going in there. And in saying that, I think that the basketball has been tremendous, but it's shown the AFL on a smaller scale with a packed-out venue every single time the Jack Jumpers play, just how passionate Tasmanians are to support their own.
Yeah, it is good, and it's important, I think. When the Crows come in and Port come in, not a lot of South Australians would have had a VFL team or a welded-on VFL team. I reckon maybe 5 or 10% because we had a very strong sample competition. I'd imagine in Tasmania, most people would have a VFL team, would they not? And will you be able to prize them away?
Yeah, they definitely do. People are very passionate about their football team down there. So I've had mixed conversations with people back home about what they intend to do. Some are definite, I'll be jumping straight on Tasmania. Others are, I'm still going to follow Essendon or Hawthorn, whoever it might be, but Tassie will be my second team. And I always say to them, just give it a couple of years. Once that team's established and you see it as something that's truly representative of you and you see that those beautiful Tasmanian colours out there on the field, I think they'll switch pretty quickly. But to me, it's about the next generation as well, Rowey and Tim. It's about them seeing that team in their backyard every day and connecting with it. And I think there'll be a huge influx of young kids who are following that football team into the future. When I was a kid, I had to travel to Melbourne to watch my team play. Now, a kid can go to the local stadium every second weekend and watch the Tasmanian team play at home. So that is a wonderful thing for the game nationally and for the state of Tasmania.
What about the name, Alistair? I got shot down with my suggestion of Tassie Penguins.
See, even
the Penguin Football Club team isn't even called the Penguins. They're known as the Two Blues. So
you're kidding
Tim
me.
Evans, many moons ago, played for Penguins.
Oh, what a failure! What a failure I am. Have you got any favouritism for anyone? No.
I do like the Devils, although I was reading Johnny Ralph's article in the Herald Sun today suggesting that might be an issue with Warner Brothers owning the trademark the Tasmanian Devil, which to be honest, lads, I find that astonishing. I mean,
so do I.
Who owns the Tasmanian Devil? Is it the cartoon company or is it the state where the Tasmanian Devil comes from? And to be honest, I've never seen a Tasmanian Devil spin through a tree or anything like that. So I'm not even sure it's the same animal that they're representing. So they have not got dibs on the Tasmanian Devil, that's for sure. And if that needs to be an argument prosecuted, I'm happy to have it. But I think the Devils has got great history. It's also a unique Tasmanian animal. It's a feisty critter, and it's also been under serious threat. So I like a tie in there, and it's certainly something that Tasmanians can connect with.
I think whoever's got the most money is going to win that one with Warner Brothers. And your colours are green and yellow. Alistair, it's a massive day for your state, the Apple Isle. For those of us that have travelled there quite frequently, it's a beautiful state. You love your footy, and nobody deserves it more. I think it's a little overdue, but anyway, it's better late than never. Is that the same?
Absolutely.
Timmy? Thanks for your time. You're a star.
Great chatting to you. Thanks, Rowey. Thanks, Tim.
What a great man. Alistair Nicholson. Well, he's a Seven commentator. He's worked in the game for a long, long time, but he's been one of the advocates.
He has been.
Come from Penguin, who are not even called the Penguins, apparently. They're the Two Blues.
Well,
so
served on a platter.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Would you like to play for a footy team called the Penguins? I mean, honestly.
No, not today.
Penguins are really soft.
Well, they're quite clever creatures, but
what are they clever?
They're not quick.
No, they're not. They've got nothing going for them.
Waddle.
They don't keep their feet.
Hey. Only two reasons you don't keep your feet.
I've triggered him here. I've triggered him.
Yes,
you're scared. What are the two reasons for those that don't? You're scared?
You're either scared or unfit, Jack used to say.
If you fall over.
If you fall over, you lose your feet. And he used to hate it when people lost their feet. Okay. And he'd say, there's only two reasons. You're either scared or you're unfit. Okay. And I remember Rowan said to him one day, I think I'm a little unfit at the moment, Jack. Because nobody wanted to be accused of being scared.
Oh, we love that. 19 minutes after 6. Tanya Obst from the Thunderbirds next.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Sunday nights from 7, join Sean Fuster with his partner in crime, Daniel Panozzo, for Just Lawful, the Adelaide crime stories that will leave you stunned. You can make a difference without getting involved through independent charity Crime Stoppers, supported by Police Credit Union.
Australia's greatest sporting rivalry is back. The 2023 Ampol State of Origin Series. Kick off your Origin experience the right way at the official pre-game party inside the pavilion at Adelaide Oval on Wednesday, May 31. Mingle with rugby league legends and enjoy 2 hours of food and drinks. This is the perfect way to start your Origin experience. To book, see nrl.com/hospitality or email hospitality@nrl.com.au.
Super Sipper drink bottles have arrived at Drake's supermarkets. So now you can stay hydrated in style and be the envy of all your friends. Get your free Super Sippers drink bottle when you spend $50 in an eligible transaction. There's 18 awesome drink bottles to collect. It's only while stocks last. Don't miss out. Sippers that are this super won't last long. Get into Drake's and start your Super Sipper drink bottle collection today. Drake's. Ingredients for thirsty days.
Too many bottles, cans and containers aren't being recycled properly, ending up in the yellow bin or landfill. Direct Collect is solving this for good. Sign up to Direct Collect today and they'll deliver one of their blue bins to you. Once you've filled it with bottles, cans and containers, all you have to do is book a collection and Direct Collect takes care of the rest. Your refund will be deposited to your bank account, or you can choose to donate it to a participating charity or club. Search Direct Collect online.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team of unrivalled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
Every 30 minutes, one Australian loses their life to heart disease. But it takes less than 30 minutes to know your risk. With Heart Week happening now until the 7th of May, you can take 3 simple steps to keep your heart healthy. Get your blood pressure measured, go online to calculate your heart age, or book a heart health check with your GP. Learn more today at heartfoundation.org.au/heartweek.
End of financial year is almost here, so book now to celebrate the work wins, recover from the losses, and everything in between at Jama's Kitchen. Down tools and enjoy plate after plate with your crew, prepared by a third-generation chef, Chris Jama. Plus, Jama's is conveniently located just outside of the city in Bowden. Get in touch now to come and see the amazing range of function spaces for all of your end of financial year events at jamaskitchen.com.au. Jama's Kitchen. Fancy made easy.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes after 6, Ned McHenry's fishing show after 6:30.
Got his toe, he just stormed in. He's meant to knock when you walk into the studio. For TJM Equip, Neddy.
He's not far away, and when you're after that special drop, trust your pals to have a Parafield Airport Liquor, the home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Certainly is. Our mighty Thunderbirds are flying. They've won 3 in a row, including beating the FIVEAA. Timmy G joining us is their coach, Tanya Ops. Tanya, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Now, has your team's form surprised you, Tanya? You're second. You've won 3 in a row. You thumped West Coast Fever. You're on fire. Put you out, Tanya. You're on fire.
I'm not sure that we thumped the Fever, but, we certainly will take the 1-goal win, absolutely. Look, has it surprised me? Not really. We've been building sort of for this and, we've had that good start. We've had the one loss against the Giants, but we've been able to regroup and win the last 3 from there. So, been playing really, really well, and obviously the inclusion of Eleanor Cardwell has certainly helped up in our young forward line.
Gee, she got you over the line in that one against the West Coast, didn't she? I mean, that falling, but just knowing that you had to get into the super, what's it called, the super hoop, when you get the 2-pointer, and as she's falling away, I reckon I looked at it. I reckon there was 3 seconds left on the clock as it just sailed through. But that is when you win a close one like that, because you were 6 down at one stage, you just must build enormous confidence in the group.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. We were actually from the bench sort of going, say, maybe just take the one, like let's just get the draw and let's go into overtime. And she had an opportunity to put the ball in under the post, but still with 14 seconds to go. And you know, in a matter of like a second, she's realised, well, if I put this in, that's going to give FIVEAA time to go down and score. So, you know, she threw it out, she got it back in, and this time I'm thinking, well, please get something so we at least get a draw. And then when she popped it in, I was just like, yeah, well done you know, it was just world class, her game sense, and obviously then the execution to do it was, it was world class, and obviously then gave us the 1 point win, which we gladly took.
Now, you fixed up Collingwood on the weekend as well by 5. It's still a very, very competitive game.
Yeah, look, we had our best start for the year in quarters. Quarter ones haven't necessarily been our best start, but we did get a really good start. I think we were sort of 7 up at quarter time, which has, as I said, was our best first quarter. And then we really it became quite a scrappy affair, in all honesty. We really sort of kept it at that 7 for the majority of the game until they popped in a couple of 2-pointers. And, you know, we were able to sort of rotate a few people, rest some legs. You know, I think coming back from Perth and an early morning start and the emotional toll, we didn't want to underestimate that. So just rotated through a few players and still come out with the 4 points, which is obviously what we were after.
We've had Matilda in here a few times. That's Matilda Garrett. She's in the Diamond squad. How good's that, Tanya?
Look, another sort of thing during the emotional week for us with the FIVEAA win, but so very well deserved. I mean, Tilly came over. This is her 3rd year with us now, and year on year she's been getting sort of consistently better with what she's doing, and just her attitude and then application to her pre-season this year. She did have an Achilles injury at the end of last year and worked tirelessly on getting that right, and then didn't miss a beat in pre-season, and you know, didn't start a couple of games for us, but she came on and absolutely made the most of her opportunities, and then has been rewarded with a Diamond Squad selection, which we're really thrilled for her.
And you've re-signed, which is great, gives us stability. Tanya, thanks for your time.
No problem, thank you.
Yeah,
Good
Tanya
luck.
Ops there, Adelaide Thunderbirds coach. They've got GWS at Ken Rosewall Arena.
Chance to get them back for that round 1 loss.
Yeah, damn it. Let's go to Karen. Hello, Karen.
Hello, how are you?
You got a Tassie name?
What's that, darling?
You got a Tassie name? You know, Tassie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
now,
hit me.
my husband is a Tasmanian.
Taswegian, yep.
Good.
Yes, and we were sitting listening to you as we do every afternoon.
Good news.
And he come up with the Tassie Mariners.
Mariners?
Because Tasmania is steeped in Mariners history.
Yeah, like it.
So what do you think of that?
Don't mind it, Karen. Does he have a scar on his shoulder?
She laughs.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He covers it up.
Don't let him insult your husband, Karen.
Well, Karen laugh.
Have a go at him.
Let's go to Nick. Nick at McGill.
G'day, Nick.
Hi, guys. Yes, I've got a name. I reckon the Tassie Oaks, because the Tasmanian oak is a stout, good wood and what have you. And over the years, a lot of Tasmanian players come into the AFL and VFL, and they were good, stout, great players. So I would think, Tassie Oaks, it'll go well with the state and their whole history there.
I like it, Nick. Thank you. The Oaks.
They make wine barrel out of that oak.
They do indeed. Good.
Whiskey barrels.
Good to, Well,
good on you, Nikolai
Lots of good uses.
Cottagio.
Good on you. Let's go to Robert Nan. G'day, Rob.
Hey, boys. How are you?
All right, my friend. Who are you thinking? What name?
The Brass Monkeys.
Because it's that cold.
Yeah.
Don't mind it, Rob. Don't mind it. But
Was it the Coopers had the brass monkey?
All I'm worried about is the logo. That's
Two big brass nuts just dropping down, clunk, clunk. Rob, good one, mate. Well done.
Cheers for that, buddy.
Rob doesn't win. I think Blakey's wins.
Oh, by a mile.
The spirit.
Yeah. Won me over last night.
Tasmanian Spirit.
Yeah, what do you got for him?
You'll be listening to him at 7. He's got a $50 pounds voucher.
Oh, well done, mate.
Hey, we're running out of time for TJM Equip. We've got Nettie. Nettie, he's
chafing.
Chafing?
What? He wants to get in here. He's
Yes.
that keen, chafing at the bit.
He's got a flick rod out, and I just got a size 5 of the side of the gob.
Pretty sure it's champing at the bit.
Yeah,
Come on,
chumping
Timmy.
him. Yeah,
Timmy,
you're
you got
right.
one.
Oh, no. Why'd you say that?
On, Timmy.
Why'd you say that? Now, you've got Blakey sitting there.
Yeah, sorry,
No,
I've thrown you
thanks a
under
lot,
the bus
mate.
there, Tim.
Thanks
All
a
right,
lot.
29 after 6.
Blakey's mouthing it.
Fishing show next.
The 5AA Sport Show. Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
There's plenty of evidence that there's older people who get shuffled out of the job market on account of the changing nature of work. These are people who would do anything for a job.
Informing Adelaide.
A significant number of people at the other end of the spectrum who regard welfare not as a safety net but a hammock, and some of these areas of youth unemployment, they're all sitting around getting stoned. It's just a statement of fact.
6 a.m.